welcome to our next session of should be Shadowrun, but I clicked on Star Wars. That should be bloody out. Slight surprise there as I do that.
I'm happy for you to give my character a lightsaber, that's fine.
Not sure you'd want one in this setting.
No, maybe not, but still.
Okay.
It's cool while I have it.
So we're up to session number 70, which is season 2, episode 32. They are up to day 4 of May 2051. Today online we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Desmond Deadshot, elf who grew up on the streets of urban Seattle in the slums, believing he was an orphan with no family or connections. Has since discovered that actually there is apparently family out there, but he's not entirely certain that he wants to try and live up to his inheritance. But on the plus side, it does look like there is potentially things beyond the ancients that he wants as his only dream. But now there's also money, which is nice.
Also online today we have is Ross.
Yes, I play the lovable healer of the group, Wop, follower of Ekithump from the BBC Pantheon. Currently getting dressed for his new job, working at, what's the takeaway? Oh, the fast food.
Shack? Starter Shack?
No, we're now starting jobs in a fast food
Oh,
joint.
sorry. At where Euphoria is planning on stopping? Yes.
Yeah.
The chicken.
Unfortunately, it's vegan based.
Well, makes most people blind these days.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's not soy vegan. It's actual vegetable vegan.
Yeah. You mean, yeah, it's people who are rich enough to choose to be vegan as opposed to everybody who's actually sweeter.
And that's where the soft serve is made from no animal products.
Yeah, I really hope it's more like gelato, but I have a horrible feeling that they've tried to recreate cream with plants, and it's just upsetting.
Hey, as long as people pay money for it and it's not you, you're more than happy for them to spend their money on junk no one else wants.
That is true. Like they're entitled to spend their money on crap. That's their business.
And apparently, the chain no longer exists in the South American area where it was founded because they've gone more meat-based down there.
It was so bad it turned onto meat.
Sounds really terrible about that. Would you like Irish green flavour again?
Yes, please. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
Should I quickly do my intro while I'm here?
We can do that. So, at the
Have
table,
we finished whoever was doing the intro just
that was
before?
Jeremy, yes.
Okay. Awesome.
We'll come back to Em, who just joined us.
Okay.
So, yes, Ariadna.
I play Shadow. We're in Shadowrun today. Yes. And I can't remember anything. Former Robin Hood corporate forest. Unsuccessful though, thus becoming a Shadowrunner. I'm an elf with blue in my hair.
I thought you'd like that picture.
Teal irises, and the picture is looking a lot better. I really love the picture that Poppy has of Poppy. No, that's it. That's going to be my introduction today. Therion, you do my
So we'll
introduction.
do Izzy, who's also at the table.
Hi. I'm playing Poppy, who had a different name last session, just to confuse everyone. Just because I was really tired when I was picking things. She is, well, her and her plant friend have been together for a little while now after a series of unfortunate events. and so now they're, busking on the streets and taking shadow running when they need and to pay the bills, and otherwise just trying to make it big, see if they can get on a proper record label and produce some decent music that's not this corporate trash that some of these other stars seem to be producing. Not that I'm jealous.
Sorry.
That's alright, Gareth.
When you say decent music, what genres are we talking here?
Oh, well, I mean, for Poppy, it's like rock and metal, but
okay, no, absolutely in line with you. Okay, supporting you all the way, but you're gonna put some thumbs in.
Yeah.
That's okay. Euphoria is for that, trance music that completely makes you non-thinking and no real words that people can make. Everyone always debates the words of her songs because they're sort of spoken.
Mumble. Yeah.
I was
yes.
going to say, don't get me wrong, cello is my favourite classical instrument, and I do listen to classical music, but during the day, I really want something to keep me awake.
And online joining us is Em.
Hello, I'm joining you from my phone's headset, so Mia is still yelling at me from the bar, so that's okay. But I play Bolt, your ever-lovable Poppy, and not the sharpest bolt in the shed. Last week, I think we did a lot of, not last week, last fortnight, we did a lot of scouting around and sleuthing and investigation work to find out what we could about this celebrity that was supposed to matter, and I think we're going to get to it today from memory.
That's the point, yeah.
We also applied for and got jobs at the Mexican chicken outlet that she loves.
That has the Mexican chicken outlet. That's vegan.
Oh, that's right. Bolt failed the making ice cream because my heart just was not in it.
And
we like the Buffy Galloway Palace.
And there was that problem of the food just wasn't right.
Look, that's fair. I get that.
Okay, so I believe we will have Josh joining us shortly. And for interest, we did update the character portraits for everyone to more reflect how they're currently playing their characters.
Interesting choice of words. Just
Well, just so you can see better, there's the other pictures there. You can see them.
very cool. All right. Well.
It does suit the characters.
I better say, I feel like Poppy's slotting right into this crew. Like a rocker next to yep, cool. Neon colours and horns and piercings. I'm into it. Alright.
Yeah. It was all there to give them inspiration for what's probably about to befall them shortly.
Hopefully when people put in their job applications, they might have worn something for clothing.
So I guess I put a headnet over the flap, like over Ruffy, and we were covered. Wasn't happy about it, but it's fine.
Well, they did refer to it as a hairnet, and
Have hair. Then there's the plant parts of me, but hey.
And hey, I'm sure there were many people in the place there wondering, is that edible?
The answer is no, but it might try to take a bite out of you.
in Russia, plant eats you.
Yeah, very, very much so. This is an Audrey 2 scenario. Please keep your fingers away from flour.
Well, hey, if as long as it's their fingers and not yours.
Yeah, look, we've come to an agreement. Like,
so the last session, quick recap, is the investigations they had led them to a hole in the security of Euphoria. That hole being that she has this obsessive need to make her own soft serve before every gig. And there's only 3 places in Seattle that actually serve it. One being in downtown, which obvious for most restaurants will have chains somewhere in downtown. The other one was in Snohomish, which was more of a surprise because that really is where most of the growing fields that sustain Seattle with fresh vegetables are. But considering what the chain does, it was very fitting. And the other one being next to the zoo in Fort
Worth.
I wanted to say Fort Worth, but I was thinking that doesn't sound right. So yes, it's near the zoo, and I'm sure that they have much in the way of visitors wanting to buy stuff. Like they do have a big Elven following, and the Brotherhood pays for their leftovers. Universal Brotherhood.
Okay.
I'm sure they're all good, all fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's believable.
Well, they will give free healthcare.
Okay. They believe in the universal brotherhood of man.
And when they say man, they don't care if you're a troll, a orc, a dwarf, a male, a female, a in between.
We're all one.
The only thing they draw the line on is AIs because they don't exist officially.
Officially, yeah.
That and there's a big scare about AIs because they're sure they're going to take over the world one day, if they ever exist.
Yeah, well, like I think.
And recently they did have a bunch of superheroes doing a celebrity serving day as an excuse to try to get more information out of what the Brotherhood's actually doing, because technically they're not a corporation and they don't fall under the superhero treaty that stops them from prying into them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why would you want to book in such a beneficial charity organisation?
well, they haven't announced why they're looking into it, just that they are looking into it, which is enough to make other people suspicious. And publicly, they were there to put on a show of support. So the public now thinks the superheroes are behind the Universal Brotherhood all the way.
And why wouldn't they be?
Okay, so with that, you are now up to day, the 4th day of the month, which is the Thursday, the day before you have to do your run.
Yep.
And did you have any last minute things you need to do before you go down that rabbit hole?
Where's Jane? What?
So just confirming for my benefit, since I didn't get a chance to be involved in the planning session or find the video to review it, the intent is we found out that Euphoria will be planning on stopping at this particular Mexican restaurant.
Yep. We applied for jobs there.
On her way to her gig.
Yep.
That's tomorrow night. And so now you guys have got, we've got jobs there.
Yep. I even
so
put
we're
in an
actually a
application
start.
for you, so you've got a job there too.
Or he's going to be the getaway driver or backup.
Oh, yeah. Either way, we've all got positions so that regardless of what happens, we got a legitimate reason to be there if we need to.
Yeah, you're the delivery elf.
Yep, no, happy with that.
But the only thing I wasn't sure, I don't think we settled on a getaway plan after we grabbed her. We figured out, hey, we can get ourselves jobs here and grab her, but then not what to do.
There is a sewer entry that you could
Oh, that's right.
go
We
in.
had actually.
Oh, have we? Okay.
Bolt
Maybe
was
I missed that.
It won't
gonna
go-
take us through the underground network.
Won't go all the way out to Redmond, but you can, because it's downtown, basically abuse access to the Orc Underground and go via that way.
Because Bolt's been getting familiar with the people living in the sewer network and passing off extra bribes and stuff so that every time he goes through there, it's not noticeable because Bolt's been using it regularly the last week anyway, so it's not unusual that Bolt's going to be coming through there yet again.
So we're all basically established alibis. We are where we are supposed to be. Yeah.
And Jane was able to also give you the understanding that no matter what scheme you come up with to convince her to cooperate, she's not the sort of person who cooperates.
Yeah, I believe that.
Basically, if it wasn't her idea in the first place, she's likely to just rebel against it because, hey...
So we got to convince her it's her idea.
Okay. Okay.
Or just unblow up and keep it quiet for 3 days.
Obviously, like
If you think Martin's going to let you get off that easy,
Yeah.
I don't know who you've been playing with for the last 20 years.
Hey, no, I'm saying it's plan A or plan B. In this, like I say, so plan A, convince her that she wants to do this. What? Plan B, bundle her up and keep her quiet for 3 days. Plan C, when neither of those actually come off, make us just go along.
There are many things that can go wrong.
There are. Alright.
Martin, I'll be listening in, but I won't be able to reply until he's asleep.
That is understandable, and I'm assuming Josh will jump on around the same time.
Josh will probably jump on in a few minutes.
Okay.
Once Mia's dry and she's had a milk and yada yada yada. It's my turn tonight, yay!
Okay. Well, in that case then, based on the planning for the run then, I'm guessing Desmond will be spending the time doing up one of the vans to make it appropriate to be the Mexican chicken place delivery van on the outside. But on the inside, it's set up for carrying potentially unwilling passengers.
Yep. So you get the considering your vans are modified, you do have the option to turn on or off the paint job.
Yep.
It's a standard Shadowrun thing. If your car has only a single paint job, you've probably done something wrong.
That's right.
It's the equivalent of flipping number plates.
Yeah, you're alright.
Yeah.
And as you can actually have tattoos that change shape and colour and all that sort of stuff. There's no reason why you can't embed that in the paint.
Yep.
Alright. Just out of curiosity, Martin, I'll just double check.
Mm-hmm.
The hidden storage calendar, talking about the idea of putting large vehicle equipment, etc., to have one or more hidden compartments smuggling appropriately sized gear.
Yep.
It says humanoid droids can hold items suitable for a one-handed weapon. A Silhouette 4 starship could conceal humanoids within its compartment.
Yes.
I'm guessing the van is not necessarily big enough then to actually conceal a human.
It should be Silhouette 2 to 3, depending on how big it is. The 2 is a standard car, where 3 would be close to a big 6-wheeler or a bus sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. So, but I'm assuming it can't actually have a compartment big enough to hold Euphoria inside it.
I could easily have a compartment to do that, but it wouldn't be hidden.
But not a hidden one. No, that's right. Yeah. Okay, happy with that. I thought I'd double check though, because hey, if it could, that makes it easier again.
Though, if you're talking about cutting her up and putting it into smaller boxes, then yes, you could do that, and it would be hidden.
We'll call that plan D. The man will be prepared. I'll let you calculate it so we can put it back together again, can't we?
Replace it with an AI. I mean, those
Hey, I'm sure that no one would really notice.
It's true.
Except maybe the songs might be more legible.
Okay, the city might improve. Yes. Okay. So that's certainly Declan's preparations. He's
And you
ensuring that the van, if we don't need the, if we do go down the sewers and the van's not needed, that's great. But we'll have the van as a backup option for getting away if needed.
And you do have on your side Jane, who has all of the song lyrics printed out somewhere on her data pads, so she can sing along to all the songs that she loves.
Jane, she probably has a tattooed on her somewhere, but...
Well, she would, accept there's too many songs.
Well, you said change the songs, right?
Well, if she's got the nano tattoos, then yeah, she can literally switch to the song she wants and literally have it scroll over her arm.
This is
But of course, if you're talking tattoos, the merchandising toys that she buys are much better tattoos than mere song lyrics.
I mean, sure, but the merchandise she buys is a compulsion. The tattoos are a love.
So one of the things that is headlines on the news nets is the fact that it's been noticed that the one of the superheroes known as Legacy is no longer using technology to fly.
They're no longer using the technology to what?
To fly.
He's got his own inbuilt flying ability because he's the next generation Legacy and they keep improving.
Well, the one that Flogan killed couldn't fly. He was using technology.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And every generation of Legacy gets an additional power on top of their other powers.
You finished your coffee already.
I really needed
I was
it.
going to say, did you scull it?
I didn't scull it, I drank it slowly, but it was about 20 minutes of drinking.
Those ones are ginger, those are peppermint. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Do you want any other food or drink before I set up
Maybe I should have a meal.
a meal?
So yes, that's just one of the conspiracy things about how maybe the other one could actually fly, but he was just using the technology to make people feel better.
Well, okay. Never tell your enemy everything you do.
And there's all these comparisons going up about how the previous Legacy kept getting have his jetpack shot out from him. Well, how do you stop someone who can pretty much stop a train from reaching you?
Yeah, take him out of the knees, basically.
Send a demonic possessed troll at them.
Fortunately, that's not the option for most evil masterminds.
Well, I need to work on being a better mastermind.
And it was said that the previous Legacy was also one of the soldiers in the corporate wars before he donned the costume.
Interesting.
Is this Legacy?
The previous Legacy.
Okay. So the one that Flogger killed.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately his legacy is that his legacy is going to be that he's going to be known as the legacy that Flogger killed, at least by our group.
Too many like.
If Legacy fought in the corporate wars, do we know whether or not the who are they, the Fantastic Five or whoever, do they have recognised corporate backing?
They have money because they have a tower built for them. No, and no one publicly knows who paid for it all.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't paid for by the private. It wasn't paid for by any government or corporation claiming ownership.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, as far as the world's concerned, they're an independent agency. as far as the public information.
The conspiracy theory boards are rife with the fact that the corporate court most likely paid for it as part of them signing the agreement not to go into corporate territory with their heroics.
Yeah. But we're not talking the boys' universe type publicly.
Let's say publicly, maybe, yeah.
Yes. Privately, the world, we all know the world's very different, but officially, they don't have any specific corporate backing.
It is suspected that they are puppets of the corporate court.
Yeah. Not acknowledged.
Not acknowledged. And with that intro sound, we have a Josh. Would Josh like to introduce himself?
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm the Flora. Flora being burly troll. We're going to be doing sexy dancing in Mankini today.
That's okay. Just for Josh's benefit, I have updated the picture for the characters.
Yay!
I don't think you're the purple one.
I thought you would appreciate it as inspiration for where things are going.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah, so I mentioned that in a Mankini.
Very nice.
So yes, each of the characters did get an updated picture, which will help them with what they're doing. So it is the final day, which means that you can choose to just relax and move on to the day of the job, unless you want to get any last minute things done.
I think,
Did Shadow have anything she wanted to get done before the run?
My main thing on my list of things to do is contact the children of Sophocles regarding general defense, either spells or rings, necklaces, pretty sparkly things that I can look at while I'm hiding in the shadows. Because I got a standard staff, I believe, student staff, which is all well and good, but probably not going to do me much good in this battle. So, while I might stick that in my bunch of gear for if desperate and attacked in a little hidey hole, or, you know, bits and pieces of magic items I want to save for one of my various places that I might be at where I might be attacked unawares. It's not I don't think gonna quite hold up against a mage of the reputation of stone.
Okay, so to make it easier on you, the children of Sophocles do give you a necklace.
Okay, cool.
They say that if you empower it, as in use 1 point from your magic rating,
Right.
Which reduces your magic.
From 6 to 5.
Mm-hmm. And if you do that into this item, while you're sustaining it, whoever's wearing the item becomes untraceable via magic.
Really? This could be useful in, say, a theoretical, totally hypothetical scenario. If one were to, say, abduct an unwilling person and didn't want anyone else to find them for, say, 3 days, that would stop anyone from finding them for 3 days?
It
severs a magical link to the world for the person, and also counts as a shutdown switch for mages.
Okay. Do I know who I'm talking to, or is it just...
It was basically a set of instructions left for you because publicly they don't want a trace of the conversation.
So in response to the message you left, asking to be in contact with us, somehow we know already that this would be very helpful to you. Okay, so at some point I'll write a
and
thank
there's
you
also
note.
a Joker playing card sitting with the necklace.
Oh, in that case, it's not really the Children of Sophocles, is it?
But hey, they do have contacts.
Yeah, no, that's
They probably
okay.
reached out to one of their people and said, "Hey, what do you think?"
Yeah, no, okay, no, that's fair. I'm glad to know who I'm actually in debt to, rather than who I'm appreciative and thankful for.
But hey, they did reach out for you and got you the information you needed.
And I do appreciate that. Alright, I'm getting food.
Is Shadow aware if the necklace is active or the item is active? Will it have any impact on the conduct of magic in the vicinity?
Oh, that's a good question. So will it stop me from casting other spells?
It just makes it harder for you to cast by taking some of your magic to maintain it.
So the only deficit that we will notice is that I'm no longer a 6 rated arcanist, I'm a 5 rated arcanist. Okay.
But it also technically have no effect on WOP. If Shadow is maintaining it, it will have no effect on WOP.
No.
It would if she puts it on me.
No, it would reduce my magic rating by 1, and it would make you untraceable by magic.
Yeah, but it's stated that I believe.
It will also stop you from accessing magic.
Oh, so it does stop. So if
Only on the person it's on.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically a mage set of handcuffs.
So if I really wanted to take down Stone, I could also alternatively put it on him.
You
and
could.
Then he couldn't kill me, but then I'd have to give up a pretty necklace that was very useful. And which I intend to wear almost the entire time that I'm not kidnapping someone with it. Because
You could get 2 of them.
I have a feeling that this isn't like a you can get 2 of it type.
Yeah, no. You sneak up on the other mage, stick it on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can no longer go boom boom.
Yeah, well that's what I said. That's an alternative use for it. I have a feeling though, it will be more useful to have it on Euphoria because we have to have it for 3 days, and there's going to be one hell of a mage looking to find her.
It does say the drawback of putting it on a mage is you have to put in as much, dedicate as much magic as their magic for it to work.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near a 6, so I'm happy with the idea of putting it on Euphoria.
So I think one's sitting on 5, is it? Or magical 6? So Ross, how much magic is one sitting on? Hello, Ross. I'll have a look.
Just one question I also had then, as I said, Desmond was saying about getting his the van and the appropriate getaway vehicles available. It also occurred to me, has anyone actually been back to the apartment where we're supposed to be stashing Euphoria for a few days?
Yeah, we
have? Okay.
We've made sure it's cleaned up. We've
Happy with that? If it's been looked at, that's fine. Because that's okay. Because I missed the last session, I wasn't certain whether it's been looked at or not. So. Yeah.
So yes, you can shut down another character as long as you put in as much magic as they have.
Tricky. Okay.
If you don't put
But
in,
certainly
if you
for
don't
the
put in enough,
purpose of
it doesn't
this,
activate. It's
we're looking to hide for you, so that's been the way to go.
So if Euphoria does have magic, it will require more expenditure.
I know you want to sit, but you cannot nag and love on you.
Okay. So thank you very much.
I still got to go to the bathroom and he's yelling.
He just wants to sit.
Yep, he just wants me to sit down. That's it. And I'm like, I get your enthusiasm, but I don't.
Where's my footrest? Is that meow?
I want to cuddle and I want it yesterday. Hurry.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And as you can see, he's now jumped up onto the chair.
Yep.
He's given up waiting for me, which is fine.
And there he is watching you going, where are you going?
Stop, my cuddles up. Why?
Okay, so yes, you do have a fancy new necklace that you're not sure how many applications you can use it for. But it has been stated that it will disconnect that person from being accessible via magic, which means a really rich person who has a blood sample on file cannot be traced by their blood sample.
Yep.
There aren't many ways to stop that.
Yeah, that seems really important.
And as you have a high-profile, multinational target,
Celebrity. Yeah. Being able to neuter them and keep them hidden is important.
so you've got to keep them off the Matrix and keep them off the Astral.
So I suggest we keep them high or unconscious. Either way.
Well,
who's
to
the
be fair, the apartment where we're going to be staying for a few days will be fairly effective to keep you off the Matrix.
You have a really
What the
reason
bloke?
it was selected for that purpose.
Okay.
Would that also dispel any effects that are currently on that person? Like, for instance, if there's an illusion or something like that?
It's unknown. You've never actually heard of this being theoretically possible. You may even break a curse. You won't know until you try.
I was thinking about that one.
He's cursed?
Wompy's curse.
Well,
He has a blood curse.
it, obviously, well, Ezra probably not involved in the conversation because it's magic stuff, but if he was, he'd probably say, hey, do you know how many times you can use it? Do you know it more than once? No? Okay, wait till after you use Euphoria.
The thing is, it would be used in conjunction. It'd only be, it basically would sever it, but then I need somebody to then be able to repair what's ever been done to me.
Yeah.
Because I think as
That's
soon as you take the necklace off, it'll just restore back.
So it would just got to be though, in case for one use item, you've got to wait till after we've got Euphoria.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, Desrin, do you know where to get some hardware? Shooty hardware.
I can obtain some materials. What sort of things you're looking for?
Oh, I wanted to upgrade my handgun.
Mm-hmm. How much are you willing to spend?
A lot.
Because anything's available for the right price.
Yeah, I was wondering if you got any gun runner contacts.
He does have lots of contacts.
Mm-hmm.
The downside is any gun bought for the troll has to be sized up, and that costs half again as much as the weapon normally costs.
Yep. And then I wanted to get it Superb, which is going to cost even more.
Superb may make it delayed by weeks to months.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to put an order in.
Yep. So, certainly, Desrin will be able to obtain said item, given time and money. The more money, the less time. So,
I do have a lot of money to spend.
Which does remind me, Desrin does start off with an extra kitchen come in. So Desrin has 500 extra credits for all those investments he's been doing.
yeah. Just for daily sundries, really. incidentals.
It's once people start seeing how much money you can rake in with a specialization, people go, I really want to get that one.
Yeah, it would be nice, but no, it's out of character for me.
Well, yeah, as I say, really what it comes down to, Ross, is work out what the total standard price for the weapon would be, and the standard rarity or availability, whatever it works out to be, whatever they call it in Genesys. And then, yeah.
And it is rarity, so you were right about what it
does.
is.
Yeah. Because Genesys certainly got the ability, the contacts that allow to decrease the rarity requirements considerably. So, and obviously, every time he does it, it increases the cost.
So I do have rules somewhere for buying it with the attachments, because I believe the attachments increase the rarity of the item.
I would expect so, but yeah. Yeah, that's it. So that's really jumped out that, you're not likely to get it today. Or
I wasn't going to get it today.
Unless, of course, you're going to spend many boo-boo. It becomes, yes. Genesys will start filling out contacts today and tomorrow, where you give it in the specification where you're on the wall.
Blood pearls, here we go.
Okay. So does Womp have a specific weapon he's trying to get?
Oh, it's just something to replace my fancy cannon. Make it a little bit more accurate, a bit more damage.
Accurately, how often do you use your cannon?
Actually use it a bit.
So, Ross, to give you perspective on that, your cannon does 6 damage. The other weapons in there go between 5 and 8. So you already got one of the higher damage dealing items.
Yeah, I know that, but it's also slightly inaccurate, and I also wanted to get some attachment stuff put onto it as well.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly, all fine and dandy if I've been concerned, you have to go. So it's just, if you might want to think about, okay, yeah, you can spend your money on the perfect hand cannon for you, but then if you only use it once in a blue moon, your buku money might have been better spent elsewhere, because your cannon's mainly there for show and make it look like you're not just a wizard. Or potentially you're wearing it but people don't think you're a wizard.
That too.
Though your big scepter will definitely make people think some sort of spellcaster.
What you really need to do is, rather than spending money on getting a better handgun, leave the pistol on the belt and put a big blade on your staff. Make it look like an axe.
I don't have a staff.
Okay? A blade on the end of your wand to make it look like a long pokey stick. Or make make sure to keep your wand underneath your life coat.
Okay, so yes, you do have ability to go do that. I think we will put that into next session or between sessions
Absolutely.
as we figure out what you want to get.
Yeah. The other reason why I was thinking of that as well is because I'm going to see if I can find someone who can actually sort of engrave runes on bullets. And since it's a large cannon, it should be a little bit easier.
You have not heard of anyone enchanting bullets?
It is in fact one of the classic modern myth of the idea of magic bullets.
I was going to say,
And the thing is, I could do magic bullets. Unfortunately, they just have to be engaged with me to do magic bullets.
it could be something that Orcs is the first person to do.
And it said that any bullet in a firearm that fires basically explodes and doesn't actually project. There is some disconnect between the technology of a pistol and any form of magic.
So in Shadowrun, mixing technology and magic is not something that happens
It's a
easily.
rarity. There are some people who work specifically in magitech, but that is a rarity.
Sounds like a
You-
business that's very
You-
profitable to go into.
It is considered bleeding edge magitech.
If you were looking for a ranged weapon that you apply magic to, you have a better chance with your bows and crossbows. I'm not saying it's possible with even them, but it's better chance.
Anything that leaves you generally is no longer magical in in all of your training.
Yeah.
You can magic up a sword or a melee weapon, but the moment the weapon leaves your contact, it ceases to be magical. Basically, it requires an immense amount of luck to pull off something that can still be active when it's no longer on you. Okay, so if you don't have anything else you want to throw into it,
Into Womp's gun?
into the
Yeah.
planning.
Into planning and preparation.
So we've got the car, we've got the route sorted out.
We think we know how we're going to stop her from being found.
Fairly sure about how to grab her, how to stop her from being found. I wonder how much it would cost to rent a soft serve station and stick it in our apartment. That's just a joke. I'm not seriously going to stick a soft serve station.
How are you disabling her? Assuming talking her around to, hey, yep, you want to do this, doesn't work. What's the plan B for actually?
I wonder
Well,
if
you
we
figure
can
that out
convince
and go
her that one of us is and it's a shame we don't have Tarlin because she could probably pull it off. We could convince her one of us is like a specialist exotic soft serve chef. And we're offering a course, but we're only here for the next 3 days, so if she doesn't come now, she's not going to get the benefit of this exclusive, one time only, I just happen to bump into you here at this place. You know, I'm teaching these people how to do their soft serve properly. I'm pretty sure Hollow could probably put up a fake website pretty quickly for that.
I think the concern would be if Euphoria is that into doing it herself and learning how to do further herself, then she might know of the experts in the field. So therefore, but also there's the aspect of we're talking about she's already making a stopover to delay going to her her event.
For soft
So I
serve
don't-
ice cream.
But that's something that she's already forcing her corporation to stop her to do that. I doubt, well, not knowing her relationship with the corporation, but presumably, as much as she'd love to do a soft serve course,
I get you back.
she probably wouldn't be able to take the time off.
The idea would be that she's a trendy, trendsetter type person, and you know, there's a lot of people if you offer them something that is exclusive. But I get you. She probably already knows about that. The other option is she sees getting a soft serve as a ritual, and if it goes wrong, everything will go wrong, and so maybe we
someone
can.
sneezes in a soft serve.
Yeah, maybe someone sneezes in a soft serve. We convince her that she's got a horrible illness and that she's got to come with us now for emergency care.
Yeah.
Something like
But I
that.
actually think that's far more likely.
Set her up in a bed with like a oxygen tent thing over it, and then just
that obsessed
yeah.
with like doing it
Germs.
herself and being a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Then that is a far
Okay.
better.
Yep.
Uh,
As I say, I'm still thinking that these are all elements of Plan A, though.
oh yeah, for sure. Plan B is
Uh,
clunk her on the head and drag her away.
well, that's okay. How are you bonking her on the head?
Softly.
The
Uh,
other
Rolls
thing
goes
is,
low.
We've we did think of this. We've already got enough stim and happy patches to actually knock her out.
Taser. I was just gonna.
Good. Okay.
And
That's
we
what I
also
want to
have
hear.
dart guns, tasers, and
the other thing is that I don't think that necklace blocks magical not magical tracking, electronic tracking, does it?
No.
But it does nothing to do with electronic. It's your job to keep her off the matrix.
yeah, we're gonna have to remove all digital devices from her. And do we have? That's the thing I wanted to see. If we
Yeah,
have. Do we
portable
have some
jammer.
sort of body scanner to scan her
Yes.
with like a microchip
Yes.
or some sort of GPS tracker?
I believe Desert has some.
So Desert
They're
has
going to
that.
have that equipment. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so if you've got that equipment, one of the steps is going to have to be if she's got some kind of tracking on her, we have to disable that. Or so how do you disable? So say someone's got a little tracker on them, like do you give them like a little wristband?
The old adage is wrap them in tinfoil.
Wrap it in tinfoil. Does that work? Do we know if that works?
It's conspiracy theory, but I'm sure it works. How could they ever be wrong?
How about we see if we can legitimize a working solution? to that?
Desert certainly has the scanner that can detect whether there's any emissions coming off it immediately.
Yeah.
And then then you have got jackets. The initial point will also be to keep her in a white noise generator type stuff to actually effectively drown out any signals.
Do we have a white noise
That
generator?
might yes.
Well, we have an apartment where you can't get any Wi-Fi signals, but is that going to prevent her tracker from being picked up?
Excellent.
So
Desmond could literally, well, Desmond's get it out of the van, that's the potential option with transport, with the appropriate equipment to A, stop transmissions and B, kill transmission. But that being then that you can also provide a handheld scanner and a killer, and potentially a handheld white noise generator that if you're going to take it through the sewers, that can also be used. Recognizing the sewers will also make some effect towards muffling any of it.
So I will add in there that Hollow would have read that the tinfoil can cut signals. It's just that most people would break it, so you would have to have her immobilized so she's not putting a hole in it anywhere.
so I would be checking in with Hollow is there a more effective way of blocking that, such as what I think Desiree mentioned, a white noise?
White noise generator will stop a signal from being heard in the area where you're putting it.
Yep.
It won't stop the signal getting out.
Okay.
It's basically something that makes it hard for other people to hear electronic signals in that area, not for it to
Is there
punch out.
a device that does?
That's what they call a Faraday cage, which
Okay.
tinfoil can mimic.
As I say, sticking someone in a level room, basically. Or,
Which is part of what Desmond was fitting out one of the bands with an internal Faraday cage.
And until you get it to the van, that is a other way of doing
I
it.
have one new fashion trend to introduce everyone to: foil wallpaper.
It does exist. There's so many conspiracy theorists out there that you can buy it by the roll.
So that's what I'm doing today. Ordering foil wallpaper.
Of course, not all the foil wallpaper actually contains real metal, but
I'll go and
Itself.
find a quality one and try and inspect it.
amusingly enough, the Stuffer Shack does actually have real tinfoil.
Well, then I'll just buy that.
But if you go to one of the high-end boutique shops, it's actually fake,
No.
and actually does the opposite of sending signals out further.
I'll visit a good old Stuffer Shack at the bottom of Deadshot Tower and buy out all the foil I can.
It's listed as the anti-signal foil.
Mm-hmm.
Good for blocking out all those AR signals you just don't want to see while sleeping.
Jeremy, what's the name of the
You can
guy?
probably thank SoCal for that.
I was going to say, what's the name of the guy that runs the Stuffer Shack?
Joseph.
Jason is
Jason. So Shadow goes up to Jason and asks Jason to show her where the foil is, and so they're both looking at it, and so there's anti-conspiracy theory tinfoil, $10.99, and then there's aluminium foil, 99 cents, and she goes, I'll have the aluminium foil, all of that please.
But don't forget the pre-made hat beside it as well.
Is that they do have the foil hats, and they have the foil clothing and the foil underwear, the foil socks.
I'm just going to go for the foil.
And for the really discriminating, the foil capsules that you can put your pills in.
And I'll invest
Before you eat them.
a lot of double tape and...
That's right.
Yeah.
Before you swallow them, you have to be foil.
That stops the signal getting into your body.
That's right.
As well as the nutrients, but hey, there are people that sleep. So yes, you have a couple of rolls of that, enough to easily plaster a van and cover it completely.
Well, I thought the idea was to wrap up an unconscious body wash.
Well, I was saying how much you ended up buying.
Oh, okay, right.
It's always good to have backups.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only planning to do the one room, really, but that you can tear and all that sort of stuff. Believe it or not, I've got experience with...
You get the safe house. Yeah.
Yeah, at the safe house.
Yeah.
I've got experience with actually putting tinfoil over sliding doors to stop the sun from overheating rooms.
We did that not to stop the signal, but to stop the sun.
Yeah, it worked. The room was cooler by 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is
And
a lot when it's
then
31 degrees in
it got
your
so
room.
hot it actually stuck to the window
Oh yeah.
and left a metal imprint in the glass.
Yep.
So it actually did have a chemical reaction. It got that hot.
That seems negative.
Oh, we didn't mind. It didn't make that much difference to us, but it did keep the heat out.
Well,
Next time
it's like a conspiracy about the idea that this contains good stuff that you'll put on the ends of chicken leg or whatever when you put it in the oven.
I don't actually use foil for cooking.
It's normally why it's put on top, not underneath.
Mm.
Okay, so you have your gear, you have your van tricked out, ready to cut off all signals.
But if the van is the second route, escape route, is it? If you're still going for the sewers as your first option?
The van's been given a location pretty much down the street where it can load Euphoria into it, which is the primary pickup, where the secondary pickup is the restaurant itself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, happy with that. Guys, do we have understanding of when Euphoria does the stocks at the place to make her own soft serve? Does her escort come in with her? Do they only wait in the car? Do we know anything about that sort of aspect?
Well, the restaurant didn't talk about what actually happened.
Right.
They were very hush-hush about it.
Okay.
Even though we're employees?
Even though you're employees.
Okay.
Mainly because, hey, it is a payday for them and probably does the equivalent of a week's wages.
Fair enough.
Yeah, seems reasonable, man.
You don't need to know.
And the comment would probably be, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
That's reasonable.
Just want to make sure we observe all the right etiquette.
Okay. So if you have nothing else to do, we will be moving forward to you getting yourself set up at the restaurant. As you probably, even though it is has the feel of a greasy takeaway, it's a greasy takeaway in the sense of Demolition Man, whereas upscale greasy takeaway.
It's still crazy.
And that they've actually managed to make a completely vegan menu that comes across as greasy it is just a mind blow in certain ways.
Really awful.
Thank you for effort.
They went to so much effort that it actually smells to most people like real meat, but it has that weird sort of background smell that most people just associate with too many chemicals used in cleaning of the place.
Yeah, I'm out. This sounds awful.
Whereas Bolt gets absolutely no meat smell whatsoever and just that horrible chemical smell.
Yeah, I believe it. Poor thing. He's probably traumatized just by walking past the restaurant.
Well, they actually had Bolt try out and make some of the food to see if Bolt could work there, but Bolt just couldn't complete any meals.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. Yeah, I feel sorry for him.
Yep, Flogger, master of the burger flipping and cooking, was in his element completely.
Yeah, sadly in an all-plant restaurant, I was fine. As long as no one was trying to take a bite out of me and Rocky didn't try to take a bite out of anyone else. All good.
Okay, does anyone have anything they want to add before your timed arrival?
I'm good.
I think I'm about as good as I can be at this stage, so do it.
Okay, as you had arranged the normal soft server to have a accident of some sort, that was discussed last session.
Yep.
You were definitely called in for emergency replacement stuff today. It's not like you applied for it, you got called in, it was needed.
We didn't accidentally slip something into their coffee.
And
everyone good coffee. There's better things to do.
And they also put in a, do you have any extra people you can help fill in, because apparently most of their staff fell ill the night before.
Is this where we reintroduce Bolt, but not for flipping burgers and things?
They're happy to give Bolt the mop and bucket.
Look, if you turn it into a game, Bolt will do it really well. And add good puppy.
Just let him wear a mask. So I can get that. Try to keep his nose out of.
I think Bolt's not too bad at that.
And
Sorry, doesn't have to smell it.
when you arrive there, you find out that Shadow has been made the temporary manager for the day, as the manager also got down sick.
Is this because I've got the highest intelligence?
No, you're the one who was coordinating everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll work. Alright.
As you filled in all the applications for everyone.
I was going to say that works for me. Yeah.
As all the other staff that manned the place was sick, and they couldn't afford not to be open today.
Yep.
Not with a week's worth of wages coming in.
No, I was going to say not with the very high priced.
Did Bolt add another couple of dots of a certain material that was used in the polyglot?
It might have been something like that spiked into the their private kitchen for the staff. You know, the one place they actually have real meat on premise.
Yeah, the place to start with.
Start pointing. What's that?
How many staff in fast food restaurants actually want to eat the food they prepare? Very few that off. I've met some that will, when they start, but by the time they've been there for a month, don't want to touch it.
Yeah, stay the hell away. Yeah.
Yep. Not even the staff discounts will.
No.
Well, they'll use that on their friends and family, but not for themselves.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's the friends and family. It's the bribery.
Sure, here, let me get some for you.
Drop me off, pick me up from my shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so the manager's there long enough to give you the keys to the place and sign you in before heading off.
I asked the manager, do I need to know what I need to do with this security? So
Just whatever they ask to do, he says as he rushes off.
Okay, alright.
He doesn't care as long as they're happy.
Since I've got the keys to the manager's office, I'll go to the manager's office and rifle the desk and computer to see if I can find any information on this job.
Okay, so as you're rifling through the paperwork, you do see that he has an awful lot of chemicals that he orders in.
Does not surprise me. It wouldn't have shocked me to see a 3D printer and some reel in the background. They were making them back.
There's a reason I eat exclusively at Trixie's now.
And also that he does actually have a printer to print a lot of the plant foods they make.
Oh wow!
Because he will create the texture through 3D printing that everyone seems to love. So
wow.
all the patties are actually 3D printed material with actual flavoring injected as part of the printing
flavoring.
The label says actual flavoring.
I believe
Trademark.
It. Yep.
It's like that 100% beef trademark.
The grill lines are pretty printed.
It's a stamp.
Yeah. Oh, not even a stamp. It prints out the burgers with it in it.
Different colours for the grill lines.
I think McDonald's still has that 100% beef patent.
It does.
100% beef TM
Yeah.
means that it doesn't have to actually be 100% beef.
Doesn't even have to be beef.
It's just a brand name.
At one stage it was completely plant-based and they got in trouble for that. But they didn't have a court case win against them because it was a trademark, not an actual ingredient.
Anyway.
It's amazing what you can get away with if you have enough lawyers in courts.
Yeah.
So, yes, you do get some of the behind-the-scenes secrets, and that occasionally they do actually introduce meat products into the system because it creates a higher dependency on the food if they actually have meat proteins mixed in occasionally.
It's
Incredibly dodgy.
Friday morning, right?
It is Friday morning,
The
yes.
clairvoyance.
So, how augmented is Izzy?
None. Magic.
Cool.
So your name's Poppy, not
yeah.
Rue.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Rue was just a filling name, I remember.
An alternate ID that has dropped for this run.
Yep.
Yep.
No, that's okay.
And Desmond's only got his eyes augmented, so it'll be only one black dice if I'll try to speed him up.
Well, and genetically modified, but that shouldn't make any difference for you.
Do I have the clairvoyance spell?
Sorry, I will have a
Sorry.
look.
I was trying to find it, but I don't have it written down.
Let's see.
My next task after this is to
5 dice,
contact
and a
character
5
stuff
and a black.
and kill more trees.
You don't have the ability to read minds yet.
No, I wanted one that, I thought I had one that gave me a glimpse into the future.
That was the
day.
predict spell.
Predict, that's the one I'm looking for. Can I cast that first thing in the... Because that's for the next 24 hours, is it?
Yep.
Yep. Can I cast that for the morning?
Give me a second as I bring it up.
Thanks.
Okay, so it is generally 2 purple for you using your Arcana.
And I haven't put the necklace on anyone yet, so I've still got 6.
Is 3 yellow.
Three yellow, 2 green, 4 blue.
What are you doing? Oh, you're charging it, are you?
No, I'm casting predict just to.
Oh, okay.
I made a note from last game saying, actually it says Ross suggests cast predict on.
Because I was about to cast augment on you to increase your intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, so using predict, just making sure I get everything right when I'm doing this. Okay, so you get to ask one question. What would you like to ask?
It's really hard to think of the most pertinent question, but I'm thinking probably the most pertinent question would be, how don't I screw this up is probably going to be too vague.
Yeah.
How do I screw this up is going to get me too many answers.
Well, you'll get one answer.
Yeah.
It might not be the only way to screw it up, but it'll be a correct answer. And don't show up would definitely be one way to screw it up.
Agreed.
I think I might go with, and I'm not sure about the wording, so I'm just going to think out loud.
Well, go for your intent instead of the word.
So my intent is, what is it can I say to Euphoria that will 100% win her trust or confidence in me?
I'm with me if you want to do.
Okay, so you get a simple one-line thing.
Yep.
You're a clone. I'm the real you.
Okay. All right. She's into conspiracy theories. That could work. Look, I don't know how this is going to work, but at least we've got the information to work with. All right.
Hey, most people would be completely freaked out if they're told that they're a clone.
And do I need to do something to prep the necklace before I put it on her?
Basically, once you put it on her and it's attached is when you actually empower it.
Okay, alright.
Until then, any empowerment on it won't actually take.
That's me then for the moment.
And hey, that wasn't one of the conspiracies that you had read about her being into.
And you could use masks to make yourself look like her.
Why not look like a better, cleaner version of her?
Yeah.
It's amazing what stuff can do.
The appearance she always believed she had.
Why am I actually picturing Elvis in Burger King?
Yes, here's Elvis, greeted by Elvis, who meets Elvis. Where are we? We're at an Elvis convention.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 purple, 8 makes it 3.
Okay, so we're installed at... Do we know the name of the place?
I would have said it last session and I didn't write it down.
Dos polos formados. Let's go. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to be casting Augment to buff up Shadow and also Desmond. If I'm lucky, I could probably target Izzy as well. What I'm going to be doing is giving them haste, increasing their intelligence. But the haste is the important part.
You'll be faster.
Well, I've got an agility of 1, so that's probably a good thing.
Well, your speed is generally based on whichever's highest between your brawn and your agility.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2.
And if you have athletics or coordination, that can also be a basis for it.
My agility's pretty low. So what does that put my speed up to then? By 1? So if my agility's
You would
3...
increase. Let me have a quick look at haste.
Sorry.
No, it just gives you a second maneuver for free.
Oh, okay. That's all I want to know.
So instead of having 1 maneuver, you've got 2 maneuvers, so you can move twice.
Is it limited to movement?
No, it's
Or is that maneuver action?
maneuver action. You get a second maneuver for free.
But they do not get a third maneuver.
No, because 3 maneuvers is the maximum. Two maneuvers is the maximum, I believe.
That is correct.
Yeah.
There are some things that can grant you a third, but they're rare and not easy to do.
That's why I wasn't going to put it on Bolt, because Bolt's already
I was going to
permanently
say,
hasted.
nobody enhanced
Bolts.
bolt or a flogger.
Bolt's only able to use the second maneuver free if it's a movement maneuver. Bolt can't move and then do another free maneuver. It always has to be.
Okay. In that case, screw Desmond. I'll put it on Bolt, because Desmond's not going to be there.
Yeah,
I
so
was curious, yep.
but Bolt is fast, but Bolt is only fast if Bolt is using Bolt's second maneuver for movement.
Yeah.
And it's always specified as Bolt's second maneuver.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Just on question then on haste. If you get a second free maneuver, are you allowed to then spend strain to get a third maneuver?
You
Like you
cannot.
would? You can't.
You can't, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The limitation
So
on 2 maneuvers and an action is a core limitation.
A hard limitation. Yep, happy with that. Okay. And then, yes, certainly Desmond is, yeah. Would expect it would go on people who are internal the exploit.
Though there is a rumor that the elemental air adepts can actually exceed that.
That'd be...
That is correct.
I am elemental air. I just finished fixing up my character sheet. So my intelligence is increased by 1 as well. Is that correct?
It will be if he gets the spell up.
Okay.
Yeah. So the difficulty is 5 purple. Since I don't have to cast it on Desmond, it doesn't have the black. Versus 4 yellow, 1 green, and 2 blue.
Okay, so what did you say? How many yellow?
4 yellow,
Yep.
1 green, 2 blue, and I would like to upgrade it.
Well, before we do that, I am going to roll the dice
I was
to
gonna say, we might
represent how many points people have,
We
as
did
we actually
really
have
well
everyone
yesterday.
here. So we
Yeah.
have the team of 6. It's always a good way to start the day.
That's not good.
That's
We got-
interesting.
4.
Is that no, we only got two white. Everything else is black.
4 white, 4
Yep.
black.
Like what I'm saying.
And so we did make a note yesterday with the spending the points. If all the tokens are showing black, the GM can remove a dice instead of the player. If all the tokens are showing white, the player can remove a dice instead of the GM. It's gone the other way.
Okay.
So if you use up all your luck, you basically don't get any real benefit from it, and it can penalize you.
That seems fair.
And the upgrade goes in there. So that means you have a reason to not want to spend points, because if I've spent all my points, you get benefits from the roll. Okay, so obviously I'm rolling triumphs today, but I almost got maximum failures on the same roll.
I feel like I should grab my.
So
dice
let's see,
tray.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 failures on the roll. That is actually not bad for 5 dice. Way above average.
It's pretty awful, really, but hey.
It is, but
Pretty
hopefully,
awful.
all I need is just to get one success, which doesn't look too promising.
Not it ain't failures.
Okay, so it looks as if you gained a triumph with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 advantages and a 3 net failures. So it doesn't look quite so good for you, as you end up with 2 strain just bringing that up.
So it doesn't work.
It does not work.
Okay.
The fates were not with him. Of course, the GM rolled, and I don't think I've ever rolled as well on 4 purple dice.
I'm fairly sure I'm
purple
talking
dice.
on behalf of the party when I say if Izzy can't roll all the
Advantages
rest of the
for
dice
anything?
for the group, I will.
So I can roll the dice for the group.
Yeah.
Right, I think
Can I use those advantages for something?
Yes, you could technically say, well, that was just my warm-up. Now I'm going to cast a spell and give yourself 2 extra blue dice.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, two
I-
dice
I-
next. Not like me.
Yeah, I sneezed while casting.
It's really hard to get those
Can you
incantations
give your
out.
sneeze into the soft serve?
If it gets too cold for you, let me know and I can change stuff.
No, that's okay.
We also have more blankets in this house than probably any other house.
Well, good. I was just it's been too it's already too hot for me. So, but it's awkward.
Well, hey, I prefer the cold, but it's getting it too cold to be underneath it for me, so I've got the thick jumper on just for that reason.
I was going to say the other option is we can actually turn it up. I prefer it that way.
I'm good. This is a touch cold, but I did bring a jumper for a reason, so it's fine.
And we have blankets that we can toss on you.
I'm all good, darn.
Okay, so that means that you can add 2 extra blue dice to the roll and try again, Ross. Spending another story point if you wish to.
The last story point, is it?
I'm going to spend another story point.
You have 3 on the table. I would make it easier to see on the screen, but it does make it a little...
No, that's right. I had thought at the start we only ended up with 2, so.
You ended up with 4 to start with.
Yes, 4 and 4.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can sharpen that image a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, since I didn't successfully cast it, it cost me 2 strain instead of 1.
How much strain do you have left?
I've still got another 13.
On the
So
plus side, if you get a better advantages on this time, you'll be able to get rid of the stray you've got right now.
Yeah.
Not for the new casting, but
Okay, so that should be. I managed to get the focus right, so you can should be able to see the dice a lot clearer.
Yep.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, so this is where Izzy rolls the roll.
The dice pool.
Sounds good.
Flipping over.
I think I actually have my spells and stuff now, roughly.
The spells will be getting a major update as we go.
Yeah. That's
That will be cleaned up a bit easier. And you'll be getting here's a rough of what your spells can do on your sheet.
excellent. Mostly my stuff is curse based, so it's a lot of bad luck and
Which is not a bad thing.
no, exactly.
no wonder you're hanging out Womp. You want to see how curses can really happen.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see.
I would also suggest you get some, probably an augment as well.
I have augment. I've got
Yeah, cool.
astral, misfortune, elemental, empowered, and innovate. Oh, and paralyzed at tier 3. And that's me tapped.
Cool.
Yep.
You can paralyze with your songs.
All the flower spits.
So you give that dice pool a roll for Ross and see how well he goes. Well, hey, it is a lot better than what I rolled.
There's certainly less failures.
Okay.
So it will succeed.
Yeah, I just need to know how many advantages I get.
So technically there was no advantages as you got a threat.
But you succeeded this time.
So that
Yes.
means that you didn't heal any of the strain from the previous one, and this one's going to cost you 2 strain reduced by 1 by your. Actually, your wand reduces it. Does it reduce the casting cost, or does it recover 1?
No, no. The U one gives me 1 strain back after a successful cast.
Mm-hmm.
So this one I would take 3 strain because my resolve. I still take a minimum of 1 strain with my resolve. So it actually cost me 3 for this one. So I'm now down to 10, and after the spell is activated, I go back to 11.
So with the threat, that would be technically, if you're taking it as strain, would make it 4 strain to cast the spell.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that each one of those is 2.
Yes, that is correct.
But then my resolve my talent drops that down to 1. Because every time I take more than I take 2 less strain to a minimum of 1.
Let me have a quick look to make sure that is the same thing.
And I've got 2 levels of resolve.
The problem you have there is this is voluntary strain lost to cast the spell.
The voluntary strain was for me to use for the 2 to cast the spell.
Yes, but the strain that you take with casting the spell is part of the spell. If you choose not to take the strain, the spell doesn't go off.
Okay, so I'll just have to take it as a wound then.
You can take it as a wound instead. But the key word there is it doesn't apply to voluntary, and casting a spell is voluntary strain.
Yeah, but I thought it was the effects after the roll that you don't take the.
The strain is applied as the casting of the spell. So if someone was to inflict it on you, that's not voluntary. You inflicted this on yourself. So anytime you inflict strain upon yourself, it's not voluntary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it counts as voluntary.
It's not as useful as I thought it was.
So that puts you at strain of
No, I'm going to take that as a wound.
Yeah, but it'll still put you at strain of 3 because you reduced one of your previous ones.
Yeah.
And wound of 1. So you start off slightly wounded.
Yeah.
But you did get a triumph. And 4 net successes.
Which I think I did. Now with the magnitude. Okay, so 2 advantages. Okay, cool. I can use that triumph to effect. So I can do that to effect Izzy, Bolt, and
Shadow.
Hello.
Currently, I was only going to affect 2.
So, Bobby's getting.
Oh yeah. And what's your magic rating?
Is 6.
Okay, so we'll need to roll those dice. Okay, so that's how many magic points you can spend on this. Because magic points will be related to stuff.
Yeah, but for me to...
You need to spend 1 to
I
actually...
have to use... I can't use some of it, I have to use all of it, correct?
Technically no, you're choosing what you're pulling in there.
Oh, okay. So I can use the 4 white and ignore the... That doesn't make any sense. So I can use the 4 white...
The thing is, if you roll just black, you have to use black if you want to activate the spell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The more dice you have, the more options you have to choose the nicer magic that doesn't kill you. 1 point is used to activate your spell.
Okay, well actually, and I could use the white one to get rid of the setback thing.
You can use it to get rid of the setback.
Yep. Okay, so who else can I throw an additional... Because currently with the advantages, I just get additional targets.
And so if you want it to be on someone, you're going to have to spend a...
So, and since I'm going to be sustaining it, so the next one I will be only classed as a 5, not 6, correct?
Per person you're sustaining it on.
Actually...
So if you're sustaining it on 3 people, you're going to have to spend 3 white
points. Because I've got 2 levels of sustain.
Drop the sustain part at this stage. The spell has been updated on your sheet. If you spend a black point, you can activate a second attribute. So the white point will only get you 1 attribute. If you do a black point, you get 2.
I'm not going to be spending black.
Okay, then you also have to spend a white point for each person you're going to sustain it on. So if you've got 3 people, that means you're going to spend all 4 white points, and your magic rating will be reduced by 3.
But since I've got 2 levels of sustain...
I said leave off the sustain at this stage.
Okay.
And that means that this is basically how you'll be sustaining magic by reducing your magic rating.
Okay. So
the sustain talent will be changing.
Yeah, because I've got... Well, basically going to soon have three of those talents. Okay, fair enough. So I'm not wounded.
If you look at your character sheet online and scroll down to the augment spell.
Yeah, I got the augment, but the sustain was the one that I...
And did you read the base write-up on there for your version of augment?
Yeah, I'll bring it over again.
Because it's actually written in there how you actually sustain it for you, because of the way we're needing to realign everything.
do that, add one characteristic. Commit one.
That's where it says, can use a corrupt magic point to activate a second. Commit one from your magic readiness to sustain the spell per target.
Yeah.
Or 2 if you spend a corrupt magic point. So technically, you can spend the 4 white points and then commit 3 of your magic rating, and they're sustained for as long as you have them committed. It doesn't go down until you uncommit. No roll needed.
But the other confusing part is I also still need advantages and triumphs to get a second, to get more than one person, additional person. Okay. Alright, means that I'll be dropped down to the 3rd level user.
And the triumph allows you to apply to another characteristic if you.
Yeah, that's what I'm using it to put another characteristic.
Yes, and I will put it down as a second character if you wish to.
Oh, I was just doing that because I didn't get enough advantages to get the third person.
Yeah. So that means you have 1 spare white.
Yeah, which I'll use that to go against to take out the strength, the setback, and the other 3 would be using for everybody else to sustain. Because you say I need one
And
for
you've got the haste, which you use to increase the cost because you use, which gives them the extra movement.
Oh, extra maneuver.
Extra maneuver. And you you increased it for magnitude, so that means that you'd automatically got a second person, so the triumph allows you to have 3 people.
That's correct.
So
that's why I was saying I needed to get either advantages or a triumph to get somebody else.
You got the triumph.
Yep.
So yes,
that's
you have technically done. You have done 3 people, and you've committed 3 magic.
Yep.
So yes, you now have the augment up, and it doesn't disappear the next morning unless you choose it to.
So we've all got +1 in
cool.
stuff.
That's why I was saying it's about committing magic, which means Womp's healing are now reduced by 3. As your magic is, you do need to get at least 1 pip on a magic dice to cast a spell. No magic dice, no magic. So if you overcommit, you're basically out of magic until you release spells.
Yeah, it's just alright that I'm even better with healing. So even if I had 1 white dice, I could still do a lot heal.
Yes, but keep in mind that if it rolls up black and you want the spell to work, you must take the black.
Yeah, I know, I'm screwed.
Oh, you're not screwed, you can just have the spell fizzle or not work.
Yeah, but fizzle spells are just as bad.
And if it was a resurrect, then you will not be able to resurrect a person.
Oh no, if it was resurrect, I would actually most likely drop. If I didn't have that many things to sustain, I would actually drop that to do a resurrect.
Okay, so yes, you now have a better understanding of how magic's being a little more fluid.
Oh, so
and less painful.
So Izzy's got his intellect is increased by 1.
Yep.
Bolt now can think straight.
Bolt's gonna love that.
And Shadow can cast spells a little bit easier too as well. And all of you can have a second maneuver for free.
Yay!
Yep.
Sounds like fun.
So I just wanted to double check that I was thinking about the "You're a clone, I'm the real you" line, and how we might be able to build a story around that might convince Euphoria. So running it by you guys, I'm thinking something along the lines of "You're a clone and I'm the real you." I had you made because I couldn't get any privacy and I wanted some. But my medical team has detected that your DNA, there's something going wrong there.
Too much getting in your
Maybe
system.
too much self-serve. What I've put in here is one of the reasons we made you cautious, very cautious of germs, is that because they can infiltrate your system and degrade it. And unfortunately, you haven't quite been careful enough. And now your DNA is degrading, so you've got to come with me if you want to live. My medical team have put together I can't think of the right word, I'm sure someone will think of it, but basically a medical fix, but it's going to take three days in our private space away for it to
3 days in quarantine.
Quarantine in order for it to be uploaded into your DNA and make you well again. Otherwise, if you don't do this right now, you're going to die.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it plays on their fears. I'm good with it.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds plausible enough, right?
I don't know. I know nothing about cloning.
It also
Is she
depends
going
on
to...
it also depends on how paranoid she is.
She's highly germophobic.
But is she going to then expect you to go to the gigs that she's supposed to be going to?
Yes, so the other note I've made is I will need to use mask to make myself look like her. And I will probably need to hand her over to someone dressed up as a medical-like person, and Bolt will be the bodyguard, and whoever's dressing up as the medical person, I'm guessing Poppy.
Sure.
Get
Come on,
her
you
away.
don't trust Flogger dressing up as the medical person? Come on.
Flogger could dress up as a medical aid, yes.
I'm now imagining Flogger in a nurse's scrubs. It's very funny.
I believe we've seen that before, haven't we?
Yes, we have. This is not a bad thing. Small things like this give us joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you would prefer an ambulance-style vehicle?
Yes. So what I'm thinking is we need to change your van to look like an ambulance. We'll explain taking her out through the underground sewer sort of thing as we can't trust. I'm going to say someone on her current team poisoned her, so we can't trust them, and that's why she's like this. And so we need to get her away to safety and hide her until we can upload this new DNA that will make her invulnerable to the current poisons in her system. Contaminants. I'm going to use the word contaminants.
And we create a apparent medical coffin that you should be getting into to be transported?
You can create a Faraday medical coffin, yes.
Well, I'm thinking the fact that, obviously, yes, it wouldn't necessarily be a genuine, but I'm assuming that there'd be such things in use.
I have no objection.
We could potentially create an imitation one.
Well, it's the most of the medical transport sort of things would look similar to a coffin with boxes and lights and all that sort of stuff on there.
True.
I have no objection to that. It sounds like a good idea.
Because that way she could go into a medical, she'd be able to fit in a cage and be effectively put to sleep immediately.
Yeah, yep. Which means I'd
It's
hand
been like that for 3 days.
sleep patch to you.
Yep. I can administer sleep patch.
Yep. I've got one sleep patch. I can't remember how long it lasts for. I think we're going to look it up. But then I've got like I've got lo-fi. I've got
You got bunches
happy
of
patches,
stuff.
stun patches, stim patches, stun guns, tasers. You name it. If it's going to knock someone out, I've actually got it now. I'm very happy with my my acquired gear.
That's fair. I think it's safe.
To be honest, if police were to pull me over though, I think I'd be marked as a serial killer.
Yeah, it's like we need to investigate this person further.
Yeah.
They're going on a list.
Yeah.
Okay, so with Ariadne casting her spell, it is 1 purple to cast a base illusion,
Yep.
but if you want to make it strong, you can increase the difficulty of it, which increases the difficulty for them to see through it. And for each point you increase it, it automatically increases the difficulty.
I presume I want to do that.
And you can mask with Arcana as well, which is you can spend that once, which automatically upgrades it by 3.
Yep.
And makes it extend into the astral space as part of the illusion. So if someone's astrally looking, it will look like Euphoria.
Yeah.
And I have the children of Sophocles to thank for that.
Neat.
And all AKA known as the GM.
So if you were to say spend, make it, because of your ability, give it like Ross did, a difficulty of 5, you would then be basically upgrading it 7 times.
And does that cost me strain?
That will
or
cost you
money?
2 strain to do that.
2 strain.
And then whatever magic rating you pour into it is how difficult it is to see. Also increases is the base difficulty to see through it.
Okay, so just so I got this right, if I also want to put the necklace onto her, I do this before I put the necklace onto her?
You do this before you put it.
Yep, okay.
So if you leave 1 magic point for activating the magic necklace, and you dedicate 5 to your difficulty, that means that it's going to be 6 red dice for someone to see through the illusion.
Excuse me.
Alright.
Whether they're astral or physical.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
When we said she could do really good illusions, and as long as she's got the dice, the white dice dedicated to that, it does not drop.
Yep. Alright. Yeah.
So the answer is yes, please, and easy roll for me.
Okay, so there will be the 6 white
You're
dice to
rolling
begin
all the
with,
dice.
as I get the rest of the dice set up.
Did you say more dice than you could fit in your hands?
That's why I'm doing one set first and then the other.
Because if that's the case, you're doing better than I've done, because there was one where it took me 2 hands just to fit all the dice.
And I'm assuming you'll be spending a magic point to try to make this better.
Yes, please. And yes, so does that mean instead of them taking us through the sewers, the ambulance is just going to be parked right up near the building, and we're literally going to get
Oh, you don't want the guards to see what you're doing.
to see what we're doing. So we still want to take it down into the sewers.
Yeah. So roll the white first, so we get to see
And then
how much
up to
power
the
she has to
van.
play with.
And then, if I understand it right from
Okay,
Martin
so
and last session,
She'll want to
Bolt
discount
needs
those.
to get her out of the building without being seen.
And so she has 3 magic
But
points.
because downtown doesn't have a direct sewer connection to the
And then
hideout
roll the
place, we get her out at the point where we have to get her out where the van is. The van drives her to the next sewer entrance that connects up to the apartment hideout place, and then she goes back underground, where at that time she could be in a coffin, is that right? Because she's not allowed to be seen entering the building either.
Well, if you can convict her that she's ill and she needs to be taken to medical,
Yeah.
then you should be able to effectively lay out the coffin in the kitchen and knock her out and have her put get it put herself down in it,
Yeah.
knock her out, and in which case then the chicken burger plate van and drive straight up to the back door of the kitchen to receive delivery
Right.
and have the coffin put straight in.
What about the security
Which
guard?
means that
There was the extra.
if the escort was waiting in the car, then it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
If the security guard is in the restaurant, which certainly seems likely and not to be expected, then obviously you're still looking at ways of getting her out without being seen, without the security guard seeing.
That's where
But I'm assuming that the medical coffin wouldn't fit down through the drains or things like that.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying
Which
to
would mean it would be hard to actually justify to her as a germaphobe who's apparently got big that the sewers are the way to get out of
That's
here.
fine. I'm happy to put her in a coffin in the kitchen. I just, because I can't visualize this at all, I didn't know how we're getting her into the van. I was trying to figure out why the sewers were working into it, because we spent time exploring
Yeah,
those
no,
last
that's
session.
just it. If there's a security guard in there with Euphoria, then obviously he's probably got to be removed. Whether eliminated or incapacitated, different question. But in which case then you've also potentially got to eliminate or incapacitate driver of vehicle and things at the same time. Otherwise, presumably they'll be in regular communication.
Well,
So as soon as he's
sorry, I forgot. I forgot because I've got the 2-second memory. I'm going to look like her, so she's going to be in the kitchen with me. We're going to convince her to go in the coffin, and then I'm going to walk out and be Euphoria, basically. And then at some point between then and then, I think what might be a good distraction if Bolt then grabs me as Euphoria and they run after us in a different direction, and while they're chasing us down, you guys put her in the van and drive her away.
Yeah. And as soon as you're out of sight, you drop the mask on yourself, so therefore they've no longer got Euphoria to chase.
Yep.
Okay, so
And Bolt could change into his human form, and so they're no longer looking for a Bolt or Bolt could even be in his human form and change into his canine form.
okay, so if you with what you rolled for the spell, you can bring the mask up, but it will only be a difficulty of 3 red and a purple, unless you pull on your corrupt magic and corrupt the spell. In which
Explain to me what corrupt magic is, as briefly as possible.
Basically, it is using tainted magic to enhance the spell. There's always a chance of tainted magic.
What is the consequences of me using tainted magic? Like, why wouldn't I use tainted magic?
You can't get rid of it once you take it.
Okay. I presume this is kind of a little bit like going to the dark side,
Very much so.
but without the cookies.
No cookies.
So how much contamination, corruption can... You're taking Shadowrun as a mage. The long-term effect, I presume that is bad.
Well, once you get 100 points of corruption, your character's gone.
And at the moment I'm at 0.
At the moment, you're at 0 because you haven't been using it. But any point of corruption is detectable by someone using astral sensing.
And so what would using these corruption points do? Change it from 3 difficulty to what?
You can upgrade it to, let me see, with what you got there, that would be, it would be difficulty of 6 red and 1 purple.
Okay, I'm not taking corruption for kidnapping a pop star, but it's good to know. At the moment it's 3 red and what did you
3 red and a purple.
and a purple. Okay, I'm just gonna have to take my chances on that, and hope that.
I mean, the point is, who you got to convince? Euphoria, and then potentially security guard with the fleeting glimpse.
It doesn't matter. For this kind of money, I'm not taking corruption. That's
No,
it.
It would be absolutely pointless because you're trying to convince Euphoria all long enough just to walk it down and say, hey, go there, and then, or you're trying to convince the security staff who are only getting a fleet glimpse anyway, and if it fails, who cares? It wouldn't be something worth risking anything further for.
It was good to understand how corruption plays into it, but yeah, I'm all good.
In most cases, corruption generally can have side effects with spell enhancements.
Well, what I'm thinking is, if I understand it now, I'm undoubtedly going to ask you what it means again.
That's okay.
But
I'm
over
happy
time, I'll eventually
to
remember.
explain, and I'll eventually have a cheat sheet done for you. I'm just in the process of cleaning things up so they all work properly.
Yeah.
I've moved through the adept powers, which has gone, here's how it's supposed to work.
So we now have a medical coffin with us?
You have a mocked-up medical coffin.
Okay.
I'm assuming that means that Dexgren, who was effectively going to be hanging around the ticket place for the day, pretending to do deliveries, or actually doing deliveries, he'll now head back to the deck shop building to knock up a medical coffin before the schedule.
So you need to have like a vaguely
Let's
suit.
So you spend a bit of time doing that. It doesn't take long to make the vehicle look like an ambulance if you want to, but to be honest, the likelihood of her seeing the outside is slim.
So,
that's right. The intent will be that it looks like the chicken place. Normally, hey, we can do a quick paint job if we need to change an ambulance briefly. But again, they make her, if the main thought is, if everything goes right, the medical coffin will get loaded into the chicken van directly from the kitchen, so therefore there's no from outside you can see what actually gets loaded in, as if it was receiving delivery supplies.
Okay, so Shadow gets a...
two things before we set out. I'll explain to Bolt what Bolt's doing, and I'll explain to Flogger. I'm going to try to get the Pretty Singer alone. If anyone tries to follow me and the Pretty Singer into the little kitchen area where I'm trying to get her alone so that we can get her into the coffin, I want Flogger to have a dance-off with who and to take no refusal, to be absolutely insistent that he's going to have a dance-off with whoever might come in with Euphoria. And if they become too disagreeable or violent, he's allowed to smash them into little pieces.
Allowed? I think it'd be very hard to stop.
Oh, and if anyone in her car tries to come after her, he's allowed to use the car as a weapon, and Desrin won't fire a shotgun at him.
Way.
Okay, so, as I was trying to say...
Sorry.
Shadow gets a notification from her phone, but she's more than happy to have ignored that if that's your preferred plan.
No, I don't want to ignore the notification on my phone. I just wanted to make sure that Bolt and Folger knew their roles, because no one had addressed them directly.
Okay, so you do get a notification that says coming from your paired device, your car, noting down that if the singer were to, say, jump in a sports car that she had left at the restaurant and took off by herself, they would only be looking for the singer.
So, me being the singer, jumped
You
into my car.
You interpret that.
Rather than having Bolt be implicated anyway, the idea is Euphoria apparently doesn't run.
Any other person travelling with Euphoria becomes tagged.
Okay, so what I'll do is reply to
Your
my
car
car.
can change appearances, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna look like Euphoria. I'll reply to my card, please be waiting at the most convenient exit from the chicken not chicken joint as soon as possible. She's probably already there.
PNC, so name the place.
Yeah. My pronunciation of even the English language is bad, but I believe it'd be the Spanish word for. Oh, I can't remember the Spanish word for chicken now. Damn.
Polos.
Polis. It'd be Polis nos polis, I think.
Chicken, no chicken?
Yeah. Something like that. As I said, my pronunciation is dreadful at the best of times.
I'm sure it says the burgers are better at this place.
The burgers are better somewhere else.
Yeah. That's the reality.
Oh no, they just say the burgers are better. They're not lying.
They don't
Don't say
specify
where they're better.
where they're better, they just say the burgers are better. And it's a catchphrase of theirs. And they get a free upsize if the customer says the burgers are better as part of the order. Like all good brainwashing, everyone does it.
All good.
Okay, so yes, you do have a fairly comprehensive plan. And the last notation on the message from coming from your car is keep your explanation simple.
Yep.
She's an idiot.
Well, the more you say, the more she has to question. Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be, I'm guessing, I'm going to try to keep it to, you're a clone, I'm the real you, you've been infected by one of your security team, come with me if you want to live.
Yep.
You could even leave out the middle one, come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, I could do that. Get in the coffin if you want to live. Well, I probably shouldn't
Get
call
in
it
the
coffin.
pneumatically sealed medical unit if you want to live.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, get in this sanitary coffin.
Hermetically sealed medical unit. That's the bit I want to remember.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you're waiting in the back in the manager's office until she arrives, so you're no one thinks you're Euphoria who showed up early.
Mm-hmm.
And is instructions to Bolt and anyone else there to get her to speak to the manager as the first thing.
Yes. In particular, no, not in particular, sorry, yes, just yes.
And Desrin is parked somewhere nearby, not on premise, until the security detail leaves. Would that be correct?
That's like the van doesn't look like a MCN van. No, PNC.
You'll get there.
So therefore, there's no reason for it to be parked particularly far away. It might as well be in the kitchen area or things like that.
Yeah, you've got a legitimate uniform and everything. You look really cute.
So you would expect the
Unless
security team...
it takes long enough to actually do it, but I'll still actually arrive there by the time before it gets there.
But you also assume that if your van was parked on site, it would be tagged by the security team as part of their sweep.
Mm.
They're unlikely.
Yep.
So from a Desrin vehicle perspective, you don't want the security team to see your vehicle.
No, fair enough. Yeah, no.
Because if they if they lose Euphoria and they double back and the vehicle's not there, that will trigger major alarms.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Then, yeah. So it'll be elsewhere on deliveries, and then arrive at the required time.
Okay. So you're all working away happily in the restaurant. Flogger is definitely serving up a storm. As he has his mask and cape and his rest of his costume, however he wishes to describe it.
What's the wrestling star called again?
Marouche
Matador.
or something like that.
Ross just said it.
What was it Ross said?
Was it Matador?
Something like Matador or something like that. Is
For Mexican wrestler,
Yeah.
a luchador.
a luchador.
Yeah, a luchador.
I knew I was close, I just couldn't remember the word.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah,
Yes, Luchador.
luchador's fine. I was say, I think you're mixing it up with a matador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and my brain has trouble getting words out some days.
Well,
Especially
the
if I
Matador
use it.
spat is the Spanish bullfighters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, you're dressed up as the Mexican wrestlers as you're serving away. Which means even Shadow could literally be doing that and then pull the mask off as the reveal if Shadow wants to do that.
Yeah. Look, I don't want anyone to catch on that there's 2 Euphorias until there's no chance for anyone to realise there's 2 Euphorias.
Which means if
But
you
just
wait in
think
the
of the
office,
presentation on that.
Yeah.
if the media sees 2 Euphorias, then your gig is up very quickly. If the media sees Euphoria depart from this place, head into a corporate wonderland and disappear in the middle of the corporate wonderland, they will be searching that place thoroughly for her.
There's a part of me that really wants to see Flogger smash up that limo, though. Using it as a baseball bat.
Flogger could, but then suddenly
No, I
everyone at the restaurant is the threat.
I know. It's just wishful fantasy.
Okay, so most of the morning passes uneventfully until about 9 a.m. You've had to be there since 6. It's a job.
I run entirely off coffee.
Time to lean.
Yeah, and what Declan really don't think about this is the fact that all these people have finally got paying jobs. They no longer, now they start paying rent.
That's with the assumption they actually get paid for the day's work.
I'm pretty sure that the pay for these jobs is probably about the same as was it Humanus?
Right, humanists generally apparently don't pay their staff. They're all volunteers.
Oh, there was one that they were getting like $10 a week or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Depends on what you do, yes. But that's considered a high-paying job in the low end of society. It's actual money, not just food and shelter. So, at about 9, you see a couple of shiny black cars pull into the parking lot, block the drive-through, and a couple of drones do a perimeter sweep, looking quite expensive and flashy. Shiny gun and everything.
Yep.
I gather I'm watching this all on low fidelity cameras.
And I'm sure there is the intense feeling of drooling coming through any feed that Hollow is currently watching.
Because of all the shiny.
Yes.
Shiny drones with guns.
And these don't look like store-bought, they look custom.
Very shiny.
Shiny custom drones with
If I
guns.
If I could steal even one for you, I would.
You, from Hollow's perspective, you're looking at maybe 50k a drone, and they've got about 4 to 5 drones doing a perimeter sweep.
Yeah, that's not surprising, but still drool.
Okay. That basically takes about 10 minutes as you see each vehicle scanned by the drones. and it does seem to do a scan of the interior as well.
Okay.
But hey, considering it didn't actually enter the building, it's probably just doing whatever IDs the people scan up as.
I'm happy they're not actually coming into the building. I am working in the manager's office, legitimately upgrading their accounts because my god, these people don't know how to do paperwork.
Careful, you'll get a promotion.
I was a former corporate drone.
Going through the paperwork, this guy has not been claiming any of his donations. The guy has been wasteful in spending some of his bonuses on his staff.
I absolutely, like,
exploit the corporate tax loophole.
if I'm allowed, I will absolutely fix up all of this, submit a taxation claim for him, so that he gets all of this money back, and I'm even going to like put them in for any sorts of claims or pay rises they might get through their franchise company and that.
And you even found a couple of tenders he can actually put in for government assistance for branding and promotion, considering it's a Seattle-based company now.
Shadow submits those tenders.
Environmentally friendly.
Local produce, local techniques.
She is not going to waste that time slaving away for corporate entities. I'm presuming I still have all of those skills.
Yep, and you even know some loopholes to get the corporation you used to work for to sign them up for doing some of their catering.
Making note in RPG Journal right now, Shadow does taxes for somebody else.
Okay.
And also noting the irony in brackets of Ariadna has not done her taxes for this year.
Okay, so when you see the drones seem to have finished their sweep, they set themselves up in a overwatch position, making sure that it seemed almost impossible for something to do a aerial drop on the place or come at it from a different direction.
Too bad we're right inside.
Well, if you weren't already inside, you wouldn't have made it inside.
Let's go bulletproof. Really bulletproof. We just did enough.
Were there any other customers in the restaurant at the time?
Quite a few customers in the restaurant, happily eating away. It seems that there is a regular clientele when they think she's going to show up.
It's probably all in her,
Okay.
her stream.
Oh, the stream never shows her showing up here. It's one of those word of mouth
Oh, there's a group of
experiences.
fans.
Underground things.
That's what I say. If her name's Euphoria, what are they, like high chases or something? Like, I'm trying.
I'm sure they all say they get high in her presence.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And there may be some of them actually doing some sort of recreational assistance while they're there and waiting.
Okay. Just chase that out. Alright.
Okay, the next thing you know while you're there, the speakers switch to one of Euphoria's latest dance albums, much to Poppy's irritation. She has actually been there for some of these performances because, well, she's got to eat. And she's even actually helped with the music for some of these performances, even though she saw she wanted to rip her hands out afterwards. The things you do to try to get noticed.
I feel you. Here I am doing someone else's task.
And you got more money opening doors for people than you ever did on one of her gigs.
Yep.
And that was charitable contributions. People didn't have to pay you, you still got more money.
I was going to say, you probably earn more money working at this job.
This job is by far. This job is nowhere near the most degrading job I've ever had. This is fine.
Hey, most people do find working for superstars to be quite degrading. Because you're paid to be a nobody. Okay, and once the music goes into high gear, you do see a sleek black limo pull up alongside the building. Basically comes in through the drive-through and parks at the end of it, giving it a good run back out onto the street if they ever need to depart. And you see a rather snappily dressed guy step out of the vehicle a little faster than you expect most people to move. Which is not surprising when you expect it to be one of her guardians.
Good thing we've got haste. I'm guessing that's Osprey.
That is Osprey, yes, he's the street Sam. And he is moving exceedingly fast, doing what appears to be a second check of the place, and has what looks to be a high-powered rifle out. Though you suspect it's a high-powered assault rifle. Highly illegal, but I'm sure he has the permits to carry it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's going to stop him, so...
And I would really doubt there would be a police officer wanting to question why the head of security has a high-powered assault weapon.
Seems fairly straightforward, I think.
And you see the mage get out on the other side doing a scan.
That's the one I'm watching for. I'm looking very steadily at those cameras and praying to my gods.
He seems to be doing a look externally, looking around.
Probably just going to be humming the themes, the jingle for the restaurant. Just anyway.
And at that point, the magically inclined pick up the sense that you believe he has pulled some spirits in for support. Best known for his spirits.
So we're talking elementals or spirits?
I was just going to give him a glass and ask for some Coke with it.
Coke nice?
Means the same thing. Elemental or spirit means the same thing in Shadowrun.
Okay.
It's the flavour. Most shamans refer to them as spirits, most magicians refer to them as elementals. And it blurs between the group of them depending on who's summoning what. Okay, so...
Then you've got demons and angels.
While that is happening, you see a what looks to be a nondescript hooded person get out of the limo and go in through the side door.
Yep.
The excited cheer from the tables with her making that hush hush sort of gesture. Of course, they're still doing the cheer higher. And you get that impression that she secretly loves the Elderation, even though she's pretending she doesn't.
Of course she does.
Well, there's a reason so many people actually know that she does this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because nobody knows.
And you sort of think it's rather obvious, even though she's wearing this nondescript sort of clothing, that it has Euphoria sort of come up on the sweatshirt with the hood up.
Yeah, it's just plastered across her back.
It is literally plastered across the black
Just in
back.
case you don't know who I am, my insecurity has led me to brand myself.
And not only is it branded there, it is fluorescent glowing with like neon lighting.
Oh, you could have missed it if you wanted to. One of the two.
But from the front, it looks completely nondescript.
She's just a fan, that's all.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. She's here to see Euphoria, not be Euphoria.
Okay, so she just walks herself behind the counter, as if she owns the place.
Probably does.
Oh, she does today.
And just starts using the soft serve machine.
Alright.
I'm hoping one of my teammates does as instructed and
You.
says the manager has something special for you or
Oh, is that
something.
okay? Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were.
She's dressed up as Euphoria already. And
I'm
Euphoria
masked
is
as
seen with
Euphoria.
Euphoria on camera.
Yeah,
Cool.
because I can't do the change while Stoney's here because he'll see it. So I've done everything before he's come, so he doesn't detect.
Alright. I'll do that then. Given that I'm probably the closest by.
It'd be very interesting if Bolt or Flogger did.
Alright, so.
I'm fairly sure my persuasion is like true green.
Smile and she faints.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Flogger's doing
sorry,
persuasion.
did I have my teeth showing? Oh, I had my teeth showing. Oh no.
I was going to say, Jeremy's saying Flogger's very persuasive. He's especially persuasive when he's wielding a limo.
When you look at the updated Bolt picture, it does sort of paint the picture of why everyone's afraid of Bolt.
Oh, yep, nice glowing eyes, like spooky background, I like it.
Okay, see if I can go. Sorry.
What is like...
Is that easy for you guys to see the Bolt picture?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Nice. It's like there's a
Would it be cool? Is that what it is in this game?
What was that question?
I was saying persuasion, but I think it's cool.
You
in this
do
game.
have multiple skills for persuasion.
So do you have charm as well?
So you have charm if you want to.
Poppies of
You use charm if you want to use your
I was going to say, you're...
looks and stuff. You have coercion if you want to use the threat of violence. You have deception if you want to lie to them. You have leadership if you want to inspire them, and negotiation with them if you want to come to an agreement.
Charm isn't too bad. It's 1 yellow, 1 green. Coercion's 2 green. So yeah. I mean, like, there's obviously better people. I thought it'd be completely awful at all that. So
3 yellow, 4 green, and 1 blue.
I was
That
going to
is
say,
so
you're really, really good at it.
Mm.
I'm like 1 yellow, 2 green. I'm like, my charm and my...
To be fair, like
My
leadership
leadership,
is 1 green.
It's surprising that I end up kind of organising the group sometimes because my leadership is shit.
I have a good leadership.
You can take it.
I'm already leading a band. I've got a lot on my plate.
You just don't dance along stage. You just stand there and belt it out.
I was going to say, you got a backup dancer, Flogger.
Okay,
You got a bassist, Bolt, or drummer.
My head already does the displays. Cool. So I think the manager's expecting you in the back office. Or...
Just say the manager has something special for you in the office.
We'll make it a charm.
Yep. All right. Let's do it. So we got.
So before we say the difficulty, we ask if you want to upgrade the check, with the understanding that I can take one of the dice away.
I suspect it's worthwhile because this is a pretty critical element of what we're going through.
So Jeremy, the thing that I noted there is if she does upgrade, I can choose one of her dice to remove from the equation.
At this stage, I would actually say with the table.
Except for the triumph.
Except for the
no.
triumph, yes.
Yeah, because he could take the triumph.
No, I said except for the triumph.
Oh,
Can't
except for the
can't take the
okay.
triumph. Look, I think.
Did Osprey and the maid, are they in the restaurant with Euphoria standing by while he's trying to say the manager wants to see you, or is he gone?
They are still outside looking after the limo and keeping an overwatch for an external threat. Basically, you imagine she does this on a regular basis, and with the 5 drones and however many spirits here, anyone trying to assault her would probably not last very long.
No, that's right, but glad to hear that she's in there by herself.
and I'm not intending to harm her. I'm literally trying to get her to go see the manager in the office. So I think we go with what we've got. That's probably
That's cool.
In which case, then we'll take these out of the center because they're not part of it, and your difficulty will be based on her ability to be conned into something she's not wanting to do.
Well, that's why I said something special for her.
Oh, yeah. So
Well, there's a chance that you succeed. She doesn't have bonus dice for suspicious activity. So I would technically...
It's really big to use. Oh, the manager just wants an autograph.
Okay, so we take out our dice from this one. The ones that don't do anything. Let's see, we got that. We got those two getting rid of that. And we got that getting rid of that. Okay, so you did quite well with your convincing.
Lovely.
Let's see if we add anything extra with your charm to do. Okay, so she is quite happy to go see the manager. She says, just make sure no one touches the machine while she's gone.
I will gladly make sure that your machine remains untouched.
And you hear her humming one of her annoying tunes as she walks on. I'm sure there's a desire to flinch in there completely.
Yeah, the flowers starting to shift in colour a little bit.
Okay, so there's a knock on the manager's door.
Okay, I'll say come in, sort of expectantly, and I'll let come in, and I'll say.
She asked me to stay behind and watch the thing, so I'm coaxing her towards. She's come towards you.
In that case, if I kind of perceive it, I'll say I'll get Bolt to guard the soft serve machine. No one will get past Bolt. And
yeah, actually that's a good point. If she's wants I'll just direct on the start and walk with a respectful distance from Euphoria, so that she doesn't feel I'm in any at all a threat to her as I escort her to the
having
and she has no recognition, no matter how many times you've danced with her.
Having watched.
I'm part plant.
And she still doesn't recognize
you.
You're obviously an important part of her life.
I'm pretty sure there's a spell for that. It's going to be a new line for mine. There's a spell for that.
Okay.
Having kind of seen that she's coming in, I've been wearing the store outfit stuff. I'll take that off in preparation and put on one of my good hooded cloaks.
Mm-hmm.
So that when she enters, I'll dramatically have my back to her, and as Poppy closes the door, I'll turn around and pull the hood back so that she sees herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll meet her eyes and I'll go, what was the line?
Line!
Line! You're a clone, and I'm the real you. And then I'll point to the medically sealed.
Okay, as you say that, her eyes roll up and she collapses.
Oh, well, that works.
Catch her.
Hopefully someone catches it. If not, she's passed out. Who cares?
Oh,
no, wait a minute. No, catch her. No harm's going to be done to her.
I'm catching her.
No, there was specific clauses in our contract. She's not allowed to get one bruise.
Jeez. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely...
We will put her in the hermetically sealed medical blah blah blah. I'll close that up and I'm like, I will distract the others. I'm going to make myself a soft serve and then get into the car. So use that camera, and when you see me get into the car, you can get the guys to get her out. Before I do that, I'll put the necklace on.
Mm-hmm.
And then close on her. Yes.
Just want to confirm that
part.
part.
Yes. Please.
Put it on.
I have had a cough.
Suddenly
I
you
was
said
just
that's
thinking-
exactly for you.
You're good at tricking me though, so I don't put it beyond me. And so once the necklace is on, I'll leave and make myself a soft serve, and then I'm going to slip into my car and try and get away from the magic and the.
Quick question: do
Oh.
you swap to her hoodie?
I will. Oh yes. I will change clothes to look like her clothes. But I'm going to stuff my cloak in my satchel because I don't leave that cloak behind anywhere. It's too expensive and too pretty and too hard to replace.
And you're going to give that to one of the others to carry?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if
entrust it to-
Declan's got any visibility or audio of what's going on right now. But if he does have any access to provide input, he'd suggest chuck a track patch on it.
Sorry?
Put a tranquilizer patch or the sleep patch
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So you've got all the patches, so you need to
It's
stick
not enough.
the appropriate, and all of the patches are labelled with like which patch they are, because otherwise Shadow might mix them up and accidentally skim someone instead of happy patching them or something.
So it's a sleep patch for.
Sleep patch will get her down for I think 8 hours. Is what's written in the book.
Well, it's better than saying, oh, this is the poison patch. No, that's not the one we're using today.
It sounds
Well, that'll
remarkably.
get it down for at least 8
I'm
hours.
just seeing like a Emperor's New Groove bit where it's like, this is the right one. It's the skull crossbones.
Yeah.
Llama.
Yeah. Just, and then she wakes up in an apartment and she's a llama. And then nobody recognises who she is. And then you get to teach her about, humbleness and, realising
What it's like to have talent.
Extra.
realising real talent when she sees it.
Okay,
what I'll
one thing
do
that
is-
Shadow can do at this point is make a now you see me action,
Yeah.
which will erase the last 30 minutes of her memory.
Okay.
So that means she'll have no memory of how she got
This
there.
sounds
That
good
sounds important.
idea.
It's one of her abilities. When she does do any form of con, she immediately performs that. So if there's any question about what's happened,
And
then
now
there's
I
no way to bring it back.
understand why it's like in all of the side columns of my character sheet. There's like things like now you see me and awakened this or air attack that or something like that. And I'm like, one day I'm gonna know what these mean. Slate of mind is one that I'm curious about.
Sleight of mind. I've got that one.
Sleight of mind. Yes.
Yeah, it's basically. I'm not here.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
It's
you,
the giant thing.
that's currently the dice pool because you
Yep.
already know the difficulty up front.
Mhm.
You can upgrade that to yellow.
Do I want to?
At the moment, there are 2 points there to pull from. If you do this one and you succeed, she'll have no memory of interacting with you.
And that's a good thing, right?
She can't say that there was a wrong her around when she shows
Okay.
up.
Alright, that sounds important. Okay, I'll upgrade. Basically, I go by the rule that if the GM recommends I do something, do it.
That's
They
good
will
roll.
pass it on to
Yes, I was going to say.
and not be the one rolling it.
Yeah. Look, it's better for our long-term marriage if you don't roll those dice.
I'm so good at rolling dice that work for me.
Look, even if Izzy rolls a terrible roll, I just won't blame her. But if you roll a terrible roll, it's going to be your fault all week.
So you end up taking one strain, but she does forget she even met you.
So that's 3 strain altogether.
Or could be herself.
So as I'm going out to the soft serve machine, I'll hand my satchel to Bolt with instructions to protect it.
You'd most likely have left it in the office so it's not seen coming out.
Okay, well, basically I want Bolt to have it.
That's the letter it's with me, so.
Because they have cameras on everything but the office.
Well, no offense, I trust Bolt more than I trust.
That's fair.
I mean, you can tell me like grab my bag
Yeah,
out of the
yeah,
office like later.
Yeah. So
I have an intelligence of 2 at the moment, so I might actually understand instructions right now.
She can use mobile phones without having to roll.
It might sound like I'm being a little bit obsessive, but that cloak costs me a lot and it's not easily
Into Flood, I make them roll every time they use technology.
So I'll...
And funny enough, Bolt has succeeded, I think, every time.
And
Flogger has not.
I think Bolt's guarding the soft serve machine. I can move that to Bolt as I'm...
So Bolt can head into the office and grab your
grab my
bag and help protect the
and tell Poppy.
Cargo,
Yeah.
Because basically now the cargo is not putting out a signal because you put it in your portable Faraday cage.
I think at this point, and look, everyone can disagree with me, I don't know, would this be a good time for Flogger to decide he's having a dance off with everyone?
No, somewhere else.
Somewhere else? No?
Somewhere else that's not here.
A distraction while I go into the car?
Well, but you want to be seen by the limo
Leaving
and running to your car or escaping to your car.
Okay.
Because the whole point is that
the longer...
Euphoria collects the living, therefore
the more like
there's
the
more
greater chance something can go wrong.
Yeah, that's a good...
And anything memorable becomes a problem.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, this is a bad idea. And you guys are like, yes, it's a bad idea. And I'm like, good. I will not do that.
So with the soft serve, you can see that the guys by the limo are getting more tense as they're setting up the rifle on top of the limo to make sure he's got a dedicated firing platform.
Well, I'll make a show of making like a double topped, you know, one of those cones with like two things sticking out of it, and then making it go up to the top, and then like looking at it and going, chucking that one in the bin, making another one, and then deciding I'm happy with it, and then going to the side door where I'm presuming my car is.
Your car's at the front door there?
Well,
at the side door.
I'll go to the front door there where my car is, and wherever my car is, that's where I'm heading. And then I'm just going to get in.
we're totally where the limo is not, at least not immediately there.
Okay, so you run to your car?
I presume
make a show of going to your car.
Yeah, I'm going to make a show. I think running to my car might suggest something's wrong.
Well, it also, if you go too slow, you may be intercepted.
Okay, so I'm not going to go like
Because
slow enough to be intercepted.
Because you know the security is not hide by Euphoria,
right.
It's hide for Euphoria.
Okay, alright. In which case, I will make use of the haste given to me by Womp, and I will...
Ducking the applied security is something celebrities are known to do.
Yeah, I'll make good use of that haste and apply it now. I presume my car will even open my door for me.
Okay, as you rush to the car and dive in, the car takes off as you go in through the side.
Okay, cool. I do not know how I got into this car, but I'm grateful I have this car.
Basically, the door does open and you jump, and it takes off while you're midair.
Yeah. And keeps me in it. And I will pat the dashboard and say, if you ate ice cream, I'd give you one.
As the vehicle just streams off down the street.
What color is she today, by the way?
So from Poppy's perspective, that's a nice looking car taking off.
I was going to say, what colour is she today? Because she changes colour all the time.
Currently, it is mirror finished.
Okay.
With under neon glow of an iridescent shimmering colour that keeps changing.
Sounds very Euphoria.
And the number plate currently reads Euphoria on the back.
God, I love my car. I will literally give that dashboard a hug. Like a genuine, sincere... If I could bond with an inanimate object, I would bond with this car.
And it looks like it's taken off like a Formula One car.
And then I whisper to it, never tell Desred that we have this bond, because he'll give me so much shit. I'll never hear the end of it. Desmond probably feels the same way about his
that I am
motorbike.
not privy to at this stage.
That's okay.
Desmond feels the same
Shadow
about
loves
his
her car.
motorbike.
Desmond loves his bike.
Yeah. No one rides Desmond's bike unless it's Talon, I think. Is Talon about the
I
other
don't think
bike?
Talon's actually rode the other bike.
Oh no, not the good bike. No one's ridden the good bike.
She's been pillioned, hasn't she?
Not on the good bike.
Alone. She doesn't ride the bike alone.
She's
Always
ridden.
takes the opportunity to encourage Talon to have to put her arms around him to hold on tight while he's riding.
Talon's charm's so far up the charts that everybody who meets her has a crush on her.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Including most of the party.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think most. I think it's all of the party.
It's the sort of thing that as soon as you see her, you recognise her.
And I would like to note, since she's not here in her defence, the first thing she did in the first session with us was pull out the hugest gun you could find and shoot someone while she was drunk off her face. And then she also stole alcohol branded by the German dragon, his specific brand alcohol. She stole a bottle of it and then drank it.
From an event he was at.
Yeah, in front of him.
Well,
And he was so impressed, he sent her a business card saying we should meet.
So the whole never deal with a dragon was broken in her first session.
Oh yeah.
I like it. Very cool.
That
But of
said,
course.
lots of great stories can be told about.
A lot of interesting
Oh,
things have
there's
happened to
some.
the party, including the source of the Joker cards.
I just felt she needed representation because she wasn't here.
So the name Harlequin is infamous in Shadowrun for bad stuff happening to anyone who deals with him.
Oh dear. Okay.
So
by the way-
if there's any creature of chaos that people will die around, it's him.
Anything that goes on with Harlequin's storyline, that's Desmond's fault.
Okay.
I'm sorry, myself a snack, I'm hungry.
Could you get me?
It was Shadow that took the life job.
No, Shadow saw the card and went, Desmond, now I've got no choice but to take this job.
Well, she did make the statement in the previous job, this is all your fault, you're the one getting the cards, you should make all the deals. It's all your fault, and now she gets one.
Yeah.
So yes, as you watch the car take off, you see the Cyber Samurai just have that look of, what the fuck?
This isn't right.
Yeah, he's just so stunned by the fact that this pop star has literally done a runner with him
Right there.
right there. His entire security team that he's got on board left behind. As you see
In a
him.
vehicle that he didn't know that he had.
Yep.
And
Well-
one day, when I meet Stone in like a couple of decades' time, I'm going to tell him and laugh in his face.
Yeah, that was me, by the way.
And you see him pull out a little switch and click it, and then look at it in surprise. You sure it was meant to do something to Euphoria?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well,
Hey, most
To
corporates
be
have
fair,
kill switches for people that they don't want to disappear.
considering what he saw, the car was moving before Euphoria was actually in the driver's seat effectively. It might have done what it expected, just the car continued to move. Whoever's driving the car was not Euphoria.
Yes, but
There was no one in the driver's seat.
she may be controlling it via a pan, and if she's unconscious, she's going to only send it to the one destination and then catch it.
Yep.
So it's a lot easier to catch if the car's given no further instructions.
Absolutely, but like I said, it's like, technically, he doesn't know whether or not Euphoria is still conscious. So,
And you see him make some gestures, and the 5 drones peel off, going quite fast and loud down the street. They were fairly silent up until now.
up until they had to put the foot down.
And even with them maxed out, they don't seem to be catching the car taking off.
Excellent.
It's like a streak of light just going behind the car.
Alright.
And not long after that, you hear sirens going all up around everywhere.
Now you can see why I'm hugging that car. Genuine love.
It's a good car. I like that car.
You see the maid step into the room and how they look around.
I'm going to bring you a drink. If you want. Thank you.
So who's stepping into the room?
The mage. He steps into the restaurant, has a look around, then
Like the security mage.
the security mage. You think he's just double checking that she's actually gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're guessing he's looking astrally because he seems to shudder when he looks in Bolt's direction.
I'm surprised he's not so distracted by Bolt that, you know, he kind of like that he's investigating.
Well, no. He knows the type of people who work here.
Yeah, I guess so.
He knows.
Desmond, what are
He
you
knows the
saying
chicken that's
about
like on the other
Bolt?
side.
It's much better than the rat
Who's
burgers
gonna
and
call
rabbits
us?
do. While he's looking, you hear a chirp coming from him, and he shakes his head and heads back outside. Next thing you know, they're jumping in the limo, and it's streaking off with the other two cars, lights flashing, doing a in front and behind.
Yep. Alright.
And they seem to be heading down a different street, looking like they might be trying to cut off the vehicle in a different direction.
Alright. Time to get the Faraday cage on the move.
Well, technically, you put it in a Faraday cage.
You know, we're gonna move.
Yep.
He's in two Faraday. He's got that necklace.
So the I'm presuming that Desmond gets the call to come and pick up the delivery.
Yep.
It's Bolt and Poppy now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Desrin gets a quick message from his bike,
Possibly Flora and
Yep.
There's a fight.
suggesting he get his teammates to cut power to the building before you show up.
To remove any cameras or things like that effect.
Kill the cameras, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that something that Hello can do remotely?
Yes, but would leave a trace.
Oh, okay.
And a
yeah.
trace like this would be a permanent black mark on Holly's career.
Yes, yeah. No,
Or
that's not a good idea.
maybe Bobby just has a look in the switch box.
But so, yeah, Desmond will start getting on his way, but slowly while sending a message back saying, hey, don't forget to turn the lights out. Switch the power. Don't want any images.
They're usually on the inside anyway, so
Well, Bolt's happy to
go to the store and just
do some damage to the fuse box.
flick the switch.
You flick the switch and you see
Keep
Bolt
it
coming
off.
in looking like Bolt's about to rip it off the wall.
It's a switch.
But
I'll show you how to work them later.
Hey, no, someone now got to intelligence. She won't remember, but
You have that look of you've just spoiled my fun coming from Bolt.
I'm sorry.
So just imagine a dog going, you just took my toy away. Okay, Desrin sees all the lights to the building go out, the sign go out.
just want to get bottles.
And
Is there any
they
customers
will.
inside the building?
What was that, Ross?
Was there any customers still inside the building?
Yep.
There are a couple of customers still inside the building.
Okay, I'll usher them out because we've got a power outage. You have to get out.
This food becomes volatile at room temperature.
Presumably, a lot of them actually tried to run out chasing Euphoria, did they not?
They were so stunned by her running out that they were thinking it was part of the show they've come to see.
Yeah. Okay. Presumably, some of them were chased out, which is why there was only a couple left in the restaurant. So,
Plus, very few people wanted to get outside while there's a guy with a expensive-looking military weapon pointing.
Yeah, that's fair.
come on. Where's their dedication? Euphoria was right there.
All you had to do was jump.
In fact, there was the opportunity to save her from obviously from running away from them.
Though you do hear someone going, well, we better try to get to the gig.
Yeah.
Wonder if she's selling cars, or some of them are saying.
But there's one will not completely, but partly bring the car up and back it into the position and
They do have the rear access door for all goods to be brought in and out.
yeah. Okay.
And lucky for you, Shadow left the keys behind.
Perfect.
Okay.
Alright, well.
It's good medic. She was right. She's coming to lock up.
You can ask
Got a medic in the car.
carry the cage carefully and load it up.
You see Flogger pick it up with ease. You've seen Flogger. You've heard that Flogger will actually pick up a car fairly easily. Now that you put the Faraday cage in the back of the Desrin's van, Flogger can't fit in.
It's okay. We'll
Plus, there's no guarantee he wouldn't put holes in it just because.
Okay.
Are we right there, Joss?
Sorry, Martin.
What would Floggy do if he was in a Faraday cage?
Well, he will be playing cards, but he hasn't got his doors.
But that's all right. Edmund had carefully designed the size of the medical coffin to not fit a skull in the back with it.
That's what I imagined. So yes, you're being told to carefully put a box in the back of Desrin's van, but not get in. How is Flogger at following said instructions?
Wait, there are instructions.
You know, Bolt can help with this, because while I'm not quite as strong as Flogger, I'm still pretty strong.
And you're amazingly strong for what you are, just that the other person's got a size category on you.
Yeah, that is also
That can
true.
help as well.
Well, can as well, yeah, as well, so... Between the three of you can easily get into the van.
which is good. 'Cause
Yay.
I'm not, so.
Lift and move, lift and move.
Does anyone get in the front with Desrin?
Sure. Unless they don't.
Well, I'm assuming that ideally there should be some of the employees should be at least staying there and locking up or whatever type of stuff.
Yeah, well, I'll be locking up due to the fact that
Power's gone out.
the van is fairly packed anyway, so I think a troll wouldn't be able to fit in there.
Currently only Bolt or Poppy would fit in the van. Though Bolt could potentially get in the back of the van. and protect the load.
Well, I would suggest it would probably be better to have if Bolt is, well, Bolt's presumably in human form at the moment.
I can pretty much freely shift between.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the fact when you were wearing an NCN uniform, chicken not chicken uniform, you were in human form while wearing it.
Yeah, it was.
Although, I don't know how much Desmond knows Poppy. He knows. Oh, so he suggests that Poppy stay in the back of the van just to pretend to monitor, and Bolt can get in the front.
Okay.
On the idea that, well, so Poppy we know more than Bolt about the mechanisms and things like that. As I said, based on he knows Bolt, not that he knows Poppy.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Into the dumpster for Bolt.
Yep.
Currently increased. It's the twice what it normally is at the moment.
Yeah. He's super Bolt at the moment. And we'll start to move out. Desmond will take the Womp. Presumably, do we have a specific plan for getting them out regionally, or are they taking the sewers?
The sewers was the optional out if you didn't want to be seen at all, but as the security's already gone at this stage, no one would have seen what you loaded in the back of the vehicle because you parked it in such a way that there were no cameras pointing.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about the idea of whether or not we're concerned as to Womp and Flora being keen or not keen leaving. So, all good.
Everyone had an excuse to be there, so we weren't that concerned.
Happy with that.
Okay, so though they could stay and operate the restaurant for the rest of the night.
That's good. They could do that, and probably should, to be honest, unless there's a reason for them not to be there.
Well, the power's gone out.
Oh no, we'll find that we'll just give it a reason that some kids turned the bloody power off.
Fair enough.
True.
And
Or even Euphoria turns it off to help distract.
Okay, so does Bolt, Flogger, and Womp stay behind to keep the restaurant open until the next shift arrives?
Yeah.
Bolt begrudgingly will. Unless Desmond would like help looking after the unconscious person and with getting them out at our other destination.
So Desmond does hear the grinding of teeth coming from Bolt.
Well, Desmond certainly suggested that I'll be in the back and I'll be in the front.
Yeah.
For example, he was looking at the fact that he didn't feel like something like that thing upstairs. Even if the elevator does work.
Yeah, I think Bolt should go due to the fact that I don't think Desmond will be able to
Carry the body.
Yeah. All right, I'm good with that. Poppy can't, so. I mean, I don't think brawn of 2 is enough to carry a body. So, yeah.
Okay, so yes, you start driving off. Apparently, you've been left behind to help keep the store running.
I don't know, I was in the back.
You're in the back, okay.
Yeah.
So that means it's
I'm
just Womp
just-
and Flogger.
I'm singing good songs to her as a when you wake up. Maybe
Well, Flogger's the burger flipper, and I'll be doing up front with the serving the customers.
But would also be interesting if she suddenly produces your music as her own.
It's not my music I'm singing to. That's reckless. No. Although maybe I could sue her then and take her money. Nah.
She's got better lawyers.
I know, that's why it's a no. No, I'll sing other people's songs to her. Maybe she flogs them all at least.
Okay, so you're just puttering along with traffic. Takes you about 3 hours to leave downtown.
Must be a concert on today. It's ridiculous.
There's just so many roadblocks everywhere.
Good thing I had a
Damn
sense
it.
in mind.
I'm gonna lose my delivery fee. It was more than 30 minutes.
As basically there's this big thing over the radio about there's a reward for Euphoria sightings has been put up.
Yep.
As she has managed to slip her handlers again.
I'm glad it's not the first time she's done it, so...
So clearly that, I'm not saying this in the game, but was the, you're a clone, I'm the real you is her trigger phrase or whatever that puts her to sleep.
Either that or it's true.
Either way.
Either way, it was effective.
That's great. No one needed we didn't need to tase her or anything.
Yeah.
Well, you did ask for what would work. You didn't say how it would work. And prediction does have its benefits.
It does.
Okay, so yes, you just there is also currently a bet going on for how long it will take until she's discovered this time.
Interesting. What's it?
Where are you hearing this?
This is
Put
just
down
on the local news.
I'm not going to say. You might want to put a lockdown 75 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've done.
Solid amounts of money gambling on the fact that Euphoria will be located in 3 days' time.
Ah, so there's bets going, is there?
That's going as to how long until she's rediscovered.
Okay. Shadow's getting in on that action.
This just seems like easy money.
Yeah. She needs to make up some
Well,
costs.
they might well investigate anyone who's too accurate with their guess.
Yes, collecting on the bet is the hard part.
Oh, what you do is just put down some money on 2, 3, and 4 days, and then I was just playing the odds.
I'm giving you 3.
Though getting them to actually still pay you will definitely be hard.
Yeah. I mean, they took a little bit of a win for the 2 and 4 day bets, so you know.
They kind of think you're putting the bets with. Who are your bookies?
I was gonna say we did spread the bets
Yeah.
in such a way that people wouldn't go, hey, that person's bet specifically
Most of them will only let
accurately.
you bet once.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. If you could bet more than once, then one person can just lay down all the bets. Or blanket a big window.
I suppose it depends on what the over-under is and like what the payout is for getting it correct, right?
It's a percentage of what goes in.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So if you're the only one who bets, you'll get back some of what you put in.
Yeah.
Because the person managing it always makes a profit.
Of course, I'm gonna have their share.
Otherwise, they're not going to run the competition.
Alright.
So yes, there are plenty of people who you can throw money at, and you may get back more than you put in.
Me! Throw money at me!
Sorry, Hero.
I'm sure he always wants money.
Come on, he's adorable. He'll yell at you when it feels like, and you won't even hate him for it.
I have children who do that.
Yes, but do they look like this when you pat them?
Happy cat.
So
No,
happy.
then other people look a bit strangely when you pack them.
Yeah, if he's patting anyone, yeah, we're all looking a little bit sort of like, the cats are about to take over the world, guys.
I still remember the shock looks on some of the players when Razzle was patting them to calm them down. There's a big hand on their head that's bigger than their head.
Oh, that reminds me of what the party's going to encounter next week. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so over to Shadow as you're taking off.
Oh, look, I just sat down. I haven't even placed the cat. Okay, what am I doing?
So as you're
Looking
zooming
away.
I'm at the moment trying to have a private moment with my car, which I haven't had for several weeks now. And I'm suspecting that a pair of drones with guns attached to them are about to interrupt this moment and make me very...
If you only get attacked by a pair, you've done well.
Well, the
If you
pairs...
manage to shake off the other three.
The pairs the only ones I registered, really.
As you're zooming along, you realise, hey, your car's definitely ignoring all the traffic laws right now.
Like suggestions.
I will tap the dashboard lightly out of my it's good.
And you currently have a couple of suggestions popping up as where you could make your escape.
Okay. I will.
One of them being the Renraku ecology, which would definitely completely screw over the people you're with. Another one is the Lone Star building.
Give me 2 seconds so I can sit up. Serious face. Look at these. Renraku ecology.
Which is basically corporate,
Ecology.
a corporate location that is a competing corporation to the people who currently have it.
Yes.
It would very much look like a defection in the media sense. And if she disappears in there, they're going to have a hard time trying to prove you ever went in.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Right.
that's a pretty good way to make sure our paycheck disappears.
That makes a meteor happen almost instantly.
Yeah.
But hey, no one will be looking for her outside of Renraku.
Wait a minute. It doesn't make our paycheck disappear. Our paycheck is to make her disappear from advertising for one shower product so that she can advertise for another one, right?
Yep.
This would technically not.
It wouldn't invalidate it, no.
No.
The second one is making her appear that she's gone into the police department.
Okay.
Because-
Sounds more interesting.
Walking into Lone Star would mean that you walked into the competition of the people that your security hired.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's the distrust of the security arrangements thrown into that one.
Mm-hmm.
Likelihood of something going wrong is higher than Renraku, but the likelihood of it being traced back to you is higher at Renraku.
What I would like to know is if we do this, it screws up Stone and Osprey, but not Euphoria?
Not Euphoria, no.
Okay, but it screws Stone and Osprey.
Yes.
Royally.
Pretty much. Either of those two will do so. The third option is one of the mega malls, pulling up into that one, running in, and while you're in the crowd of people, dropping your disguise, and then just casually walking out, getting into a different looking car.
I feel like I want to, and then again, this is going to probably come under bad idea and move on. Going into a mega mall with Euphoria everywhere, be Euphoria, introduce this grand new talent I've discovered that I want to appear as not backing vocals, but co-singer on my next album, and her name is Poppy.
Problem with that is you do not have her voice.
Poppy's voice?
You do not have Euphoria's voice.
Euphoria's voice.
I don't, and what I will do is I will get Poppy to sing an example of her music to show the world the potential our two voices could be.
I think the issue I have with this is that it links the disappearance of
I told you it was a bad idea.
Euphoria back to the restaurant and to us.
And
who
by the
identify
time
the light of the
time you finished getting that out, security will have showed up.
I do say it's a bad idea.
As much as I
the
like
other
the idea
thing-
of getting a plug, no. I think that's probably
The thing,
undermine us.
yeah.
The opposition that we're working for, have they actually got their product already on the shelf?
No.
Okay. Because the other option would have been to go in, buy that product, and then... But no, you can't do that.
Their launch is delayed, so that's why they needed the killing of the other launch.
Yeah.
You wanted to do the second one?
Yes or no? I'm leaning towards the second one. My question is, my understanding of this is that we're going to screw over by robbing the original contractor of Euphoria representing the thing. We're actually going to screw over what is an actually fairly independent, fairly good group of people who have good ethics. Is there a choice I can make that won't screw them over in the end?
The disappearing in the mall would be least likely to look as if she's basically screwing over the label and the client.
Mm-hmm. It could be covered up as something else.
It could easily be put down as something else, but if you go into the police station or the Renrak Arcology, you're definitely throwing the gauntlet down.
Okay.
But the disadvantage of the mall compared to Renraku particularly, or Lone Star, is by going into the mall, you don't give any apparent explanation as to why she's still disappeared.
This makes her disappear at the mall instead of at the fast food place, but she still disappears. But she's not disappeared into a opposing team.
It makes it sound
It
like
disappears in Renraku Arcology, then it assumes that Renraku's involved, and any other potential leads are less likely to follow up.
What I'm aiming to try to do is I don't want to see this up and coming company that's actually a decent company. I've done some research. It seems like the company that's paying us to screw them over are actually the company I want to screw over, but I don't want to lose my money or have that black mark on my list. So if I can screw over the company that's paying me but still get paid and not get a black mark on my list and not screw over the company I've been paid to screw over, that's where I want to be.
Well, you can literally, the fourth option pops up, you can do the appearance.
But won't I lose the money for us?
That's the run.
No. Because if you do the appearance, you basically do what Meatloaf did in the AFL Grand Final.
What's that?
Perform poorly.
Oh, you mean turn up, give you appearance to it so poorly, but won't their products still suffer?
Their products will suffer, but not suffer as much because Euphoria didn't show up. It's just, it would suffer because Euphoria gave it a half-assed attention.
And it would also mean that our Mr. Johnson, you failed to run. Because Mr. Johnson says, oh, Euphoria showed up. I guess those runners failed.
Okay, there's an option 5, and again, probably a bad idea. What about we replace Euphoria with Poppy, and I disappear into the mall?
It still puts Poppy in the limelight.
But
That's right.
she's just
I think just disappearing into the
there at the last
mall.
minute. She was a backup singer.
Yes, but it has to be from the company. If you put her forward, then that will be remembered.
Well, she's already being put forward by our good friend Flogger as a real fan that just wanted to dance and back sing. So she's already signed on to do it. And she'll just say, oh, look, there's no singers, I could do it. And then they're like, shit, there's no singer. And then they put her forward. And then...
The likelihood of that happening is very low.
Okay.
They're going to cancel. They're going to cancel the promotion if it's not there, which is the whole point of the run.
The sponsorship is for someone specific.
Thank you for giving me the patience of exploring, alleviating my conscientious stuff. Pick which one you want, that's what I will do.
I think
the shopping mall
Yeah.
is more plausible. You can make it out if you wanted to go shopping without being like babysat, you know.
Well, the other factor is, if you're trying to think about trying to save Euphoria's current media company because they're not so bad people, if they're not so bad, why is this Euphoria escaped again?
Yep.
Obviously, Euphoria's not happy with this company. So,
Look, I'm happy to go with that.
Desmond would be more keen. If you reckon you can get away with it, Desmond would be far more keen for the car to race you into the Archaeology Mall parking lot and then come out as something different. Because if you can put the Euphoria security detail and give them Red Raku as a target, hey, let them take a bigger bite if they try one of them text.
I think the biggest issue is that Renraku actually has the resources to come after us.
Well, Renraku would probably see it as a opportunity.
And the point is, the archaeology is still effectively a public mega mall for that bottom floor. And so if you go into the parking lot and therefore any cameras and things like that become a property of Renraku, then if there is any visibility of seeing the card or somehow disappearing or something changing, then Renraku's not likely to disclose it to their opposition if they don't want to. How much they might then chase a sudden vehicle that can change colour, change appearance, would be a concern.
I don't know, it's a multi-billion-dollar pop singer who owns it. I wouldn't be too surprised she's got a car like that.
Yep.
Okay, so
Renraku it is then.
Are we sure that's the choice?
I mean, I think the three choices are similar in risk. The reward, I think, from kind of destabilizing it and causing issue between Renraku and this other group is probably...
And the ability for the security detail to enter the Renraku premise is non-existent.
Yeah, I was going to say, 0.
Yeah.
They are literally a competing group using Ares personnel.
Yeah.
That's basically a war brewing if they so much as try.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wrong.
It's literally, they don't have the visas to enter that extraterritoriality.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm wrong.
They work for Knights Errant, don't they?
Combat, though.
There's also a possibility of other things happening.
I was going to say, if we start a war, there's definitely there's a good chance for
While
combat.
I'm in the car considering these options, I will throw my eyes upwards and ask my present gods what would they do. Did any of them answer?
Okay.
Random roll of the dice.
Kick the hornet's nest.
Well, if you want to remain undetected for the longest, Renraku has the biggest chance of delaying any form of chase, but long term it will bite you.
Yes, very hard.
The police
And leave
one
scars.
will cause a ruckus straight away, and will definitely be a media storm.
I like that.
And people will be hunting for what actually happened. And short-term kerfuffle, long-term swept under the carpet. The mall would definitely be a where's Wally situation. Basically, everyone will be saying, how did she disappear in the mall, and start a beat from there.
Because when you first gave me the possessions, the mall actually didn't sound like a bad choice.
The mall was the one that didn't cause any major upsets between any of the corporations, because as long as it's not in the arcology, if it's in the downtown itself, then people get lost in malls very easily.
It'll still cause a massive shit fight, just not the kind that will come back to bite us in the end. Which is essentially what we want. We don't want any scars from this. Not ones that we didn't cause ourselves. So,
You could also enhance it slightly if you're able to throw the mask on somebody else, random bystander in the mall, and make them look like Euphoria as you walk away.
Yeah, well, that was my thought. Was to.
The downside to that one is if a mage interacts with her mask, they will be able to trace her.
Yeah. So the idea was
This is why
maybe.
Desmond was happy to suggest it, but he doesn't have the native background to know what happened.
No, but you still do have her clothes on, correct?
Yes. And maybe if I
Well,
could...
you could dump those clothes or just give it to somebody else on the way out.
I was going to say, if I could coordinate with my group and have one or two of them meet me here, I could throw the mask on them. Someone I knew, could get away without being identified before they threw the mask off. It would drag it out a bit longer. But I think by the time I got to the mall, I've probably dragged it out long enough. And as much as I want to see floggers sing Euphoria songs to fans while signing and dancing, I'm going to have to leave that for my imagination and my dreams too.
Well, you expect you have 5 minutes from the moment you get out of the car till they would catch you.
I'm going to go for option 3.
Okay.
It's a less destructive option. It's going to least hurt the original organisation. If I have read it right correctly, I would like them to come out of it as unscathed as possible, because I don't think they deserve what's happening to them. They're just being picked on because they stumbled across something better than their rival did, and their rival just happens to have more money and no conscience. And when I can, I'll try and think of something I can do to somehow stymie my employer sometime down the line after I've cashed his check.
Okay, so hence the call on the radio. Euphoria has gone missing. I had predicted that was the response.
Yep.
And that there's basically a grid search from that location looking for a mirrored neon glowing underglow sports car with Euphoria in the back.
Yep.
Obviously a car like that is so distinctive everyone should notice it.
Yeah.
Went missing moments after she entered the mall.
Yeah. Perfect. Alrighty.
Of course you have no idea how the car went missing so quickly.
I have no idea where the car came from. It just rocked up and went, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't outside the store until Euphoria left.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool car.
So, Desra and you get a all clear from Shadow. It's very easy to rush into a group of people, have everyone pile towards you, have the mask drop before they surround you completely. And the next thing you know, they're looking around for where did this Euphoria go, and someone's holding the tank top, the hoodie.
Hoodie, yeah.
And they'll be clutching it to themselves going, she disappeared, it's magic. And whatever trackers were on the hoodie would lead them to that person.
There's no trackers on the hoodie.
Of course there would be trackers on the hoodie.
I know.
They're tracking all their merchandise.
They wouldn't leave it to chance that she could get away.
No.
however many ways she decided to hide her signature, there was always something they should forget. But hey, as you're pulling out, you do see the entire place getting locked down by riot police, and looks like you have Lone Star and the Osprey's other team, Knight Errant, actually working together, which means someone's throwing a lot of money at
Most importantly, is there a scene where my iridescent silver streak of a car is started at one end of the underground car park and is zoomed across at like 100 k's an hour through it, bounced through into a secondary parking structure, and then whizzed around all its things, broken through its gate and driven off into the sunset?
Nothing that spectacular. It just seemed to go around the corner, and no security feeds know what happened to it.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Blinked.
As far as anyone knows, it went round the corner, right into a field of cameras, and no one ever saw it come around the corner.
No. Why would cameras catch it?
It's like Faye. Teleported.
Yeah. Can I do that at some stage in my life?
Possibly.
Teleport me and the car?
As you're travelling along, I'm sure not long afterwards you have Shadow in a bright blue coupe.
I was going to say coupe or jeep, something that doesn't look like the car it was once before.
Something completely different.
Yeah, that doesn't even have the same profile.
Well, I could even go motorbike.
Not on that vehicle.
I'm joking.
It doesn't change that much.
No, I don't need a motorbike. I don't have infantile obsessions with two-wheeled bikes that go fast.
Is that a thing thrown at Desra?
No, not at all.
Okay, so yes.
He'll get me back for it later.
You both managed to make it out into Redmond pretty easily in both vehicles, and by the time you get out there, you do hear of the whole kerfuffle that they've trying to backtrace whatever happened to see what set her off, but by the time they reached the restaurant, the entire staff had changed and gone home. Apparently, the shock of Euphoria leaving was enough to have a lot of the staff walk out.
But I made sure that Poppy and I know, because they're very good at just repeating things they hear, Womp and Flogger and Bolt would have been... She said something about being contaminated. And that's it. That'd be enough.
I'm just going to play the dumb troll
oh shit, it's his germ.
Well, you'd throw in a completely different conspiracy theory because she wouldn't have gone to a mall if she was contaminated.
I was going to say, the last thing she told me was, don't let anyone touch the ice cream machine, and she walked off.
So yes, the restaurant staff do talk about how there was a dance-off when the power came back on.
Hey, I finally got my dance off.
And
I'm not there to see it.
Does Flogger actually call in some friends?
He's got them.
Yeah, call in friends.
Okay.
Ogre comes in.
So there is this televised event of a dance-off in support of Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria, come home, we miss you. The interpretive dance.
And part of the thing is you left your soft serve behind. And it ends with Euphoria eats it.
Good advertising.
So when they come back to interview the staff, I'm assuming that's something that Womp would have happily thrown in.
Yeah.
The restaurant is packed for the next rest of the night. of many people holding a vigil for Euphoria out of the restaurant. The soft serve machine is run so much it stops working.
It'll listen to it.
As apparently this has become the shrine to Euphoria.
In memoriam. Oh dear.
And there are a lot of messages going online. Euphoria, come home.
Yeah. Instead of people waving a lighter or a torch or a candle, it's ice cream.
It is ice cream soft serves being waved.
Yeah.
With a big grinning flogger in the background.
Mm. Yeah.
No one notices Bolt at all.
That's unusual.
Well, Bolt is in human form.
Well done, Bolt.
And Womp
Good dog.
is basically the spokesperson who keeps serving everyone, so doesn't always get the photo bombing.
Who's this?
Womp.
Ah,
Someone has to serve the customers.
that's
Yeah.
true. But they always think Womp is Flogger anyway.
And they talk about the well-dressed troll photo bombing everything. Well, that's what everyone remembers.
Yeah.
There was only one troll in the restaurant. He did the burgers and the desk.
I see.
He was that talented.
I was going to say, this sounds like the disaster of all disasters that we all wanted to see.
And as you did manage to plan out a non-lethal heist,
Well, it had to be non-lethal. She's supposed to live through this.
doesn't mean you'd actually plan one out.
They want her alive so that she can promote their other
It
product.
was also non-violent, not only non-lethal.
Violent, because
So
we knew
question
that
on-
if we went down the violent path, we'd
Contract
be
clause.
screwed.
We're only contracted her to prevent her from representing their competition.
You're contracted to make her disappear for 3 days.
But we know that 3 days is so that she can't make these appearances for the competition. And then day 4 after these 3 days, the plan is they will come to her with a contract to represent their product instead and then overtake the world with her. Is there any reason why if after we fulfilled our contract and being paid, we couldn't convince her to go back and represent the guys that she stiffed?
Problem is, you'll have passed the window that they paid for.
Well, would not they be open to another payment if she came
She-
across and said I was sick?
She's not the one negotiating things.
So what if
She's the talent,
got her
not
own
the
fixer.
negotiator.
what if an elf out there felt, her corporate talents could be used just for this one job to represent her in maybe seeing if she can get this contract back? All without her name coming into it.
It's possible, but then you're looking at screwing over the client that has hired you all.
Oh yeah, I want to do that, but I don't want him to know about it.
He will know about it if that gets done.
I'll talk to you more after game. I'm totally interested in the feasibility of such a mad plan, even if it ends up being just a theoretical conversation that never makes it to table.
Basically, you want to be careful about making any form of transactions traceable to you.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Honestly, after this, I would suggest just drop it, because if you do anything that involves her, it's going to have eyes back onto us.
I don't know. I could pass her on to other people that I know that aren't necessarily traceable to me.
There are multiple opportunities you can do.
I'll talk
Ideally,
to the gym.
Ideally, we keep her unconscious for the next 72 hours, and therefore she never sees any faces.
And she'll never know you were involved because you took her memory away of
Yeah, that's
of the
true.
entire soft serve of the restaurant. She doesn't even know she entered the restaurant.
From Shadow's character's perspective, she feels like she's done this job, but she feels like the company that has had this done to them, they've been given a rougher ride. You know, when she checked them out, they weren't that bad of a corporation. They actually had a conscience.
And you could always keep an ear out for if someone else is hiring to make her disappear for the next one.
Yeah. So anyway,
So Josh was trying
it's
to say
something she's
something.
going to work on in the background.
What was that, Josh?
Mia's just working out, so we'll probably have to jump off soon.
Okay, so as we are past
Likewise.
10:30, this is a probably
Just
good
one thing
time
I'd say.
to wrap up.
Yep,
And
one
what
thing
did
I'd say before we wrap up is basically before we try and take Euphoria up to the apartment and things like that, Desmond will stop the van somewhere in the Barrens, out of the way. Desmond will jump out into the back of the van, open the medical canister, the medical vault coffin, i.e. Faraday cage. Still inside the Faraday cage is the van. Run the bug zapper all over everything in the coffin. Strip of all her clothes. Putting some new clothes that composed that Desmond had in the van. Then hand her over to we can head to the apartment and hey, you can stumble home with over the shoulder of Bolt stumble into the apartment. So.
Okay, checking her over, she does have implants that are there. One of her implants is a platinum wagon contract.
Yeah, fortunately they've got those.
As well as some sort of pump in her system that is currently active.
Okay, well in that case then, we'll keep her unconscious for 72 hours in the medical vault. And the...
and luckily you have the wallpaper to Faraday cage the apartment.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do we technically have to get into the apartment?
Yes.
If we're going to keep her unconscious for 3 days?
It was stated that we needed to keep her there. I don't know why. It was just that this is the apartment where she's supposed to be.
That's where we were going to be paid.
Right.
So as long as we've got a presence there to collect payment when she's not around.
So we specifically, the wording was we would not get half payment until she walked in that door or went through that door. We were going to get half the payment as soon as she arrived at that apartment, and they clocked her arriving in the apartment, as in I think he was going to check and make sure she was there.
You're expecting the Johnson to have a person verify.
Yeah. And then he would give money, and then after that they were going to come back before she was released and check that no harm had been done to her. And as long as no harm had been done, we would get the rest of the money and we were allowed to let her go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
yeah. Yeah, someone was going to come
sure we could probably take her up in the box without too much questions from the our dwarf manager. But
I was going to say, I know it's I'm not going to call it an iron coffin anymore, it just seems too much. I know our medical unit is essentially an iron box, but I'm sure between Bolt and Flogger you could get it into that underground system and then up through that back. Because there's a back basement
that's just it. Never thought the idea of Keyfoge carrying the box up, but happy to keep her in the box and that could good for me. But
well, I thought if we could do it that way, then it's less noticeable than bringing her through the front door.
So next session will be you getting the box to the room. Because
Okay.
that won't be easy.
Yep. Okay, then. Anyway, thanks very much. I will catch you guys next Tuesday.
Let us know how your
No, Friday.
how your
Friday.
30th SCA thing goes. It sounds like it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't busy, probably would have turned up and
Well,
embarrassed you.
Have fun tomorrow night, and we will see you on Friday for those of us who also see you.
Yep.
Have a good night, all.
Good night.
Bye for
Good
now.
night. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Okay, I will put it on end credits.